You're looking at the beacon.
Jim,
Just
we're going to force you into an airlock and change it.
he knows what it looks like. He knows more about it than I do. But yeah, so.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I am a Humble Gamer. We are playing some more of the Black Sun D&D tonight. We have 4 members of our fantastic crew with us. As you can see underneath me, we have from left to right Mr. Christophe Shaunig, Marc Alden Taylor, Jim Kelly, and David King Chrome Mitchell. Quick recap of the last session. The team got to Bartholomew's Dock. 5, or Terry, managed to do some pretty heavy diplomacy stuff to keep the crew.
There's no last count.
And he didn't deploy.
Where's Terry?
He didn't deploy that many people. He deployed like one person and then released the fucking alien.
Yes.
It's such in a difficult situation today because these two are going to want to murder your ass.
Yes, Jim is now genuinely scared for Klutz's life.
He's gone.
They then went on to the port. They managed to. I've got a note already.
No, it's just something for you to answer a bit.
Okay, cool. They then went on to Bart's port. They did a bit of business. A lot of them found some things that were useful. A couple of them were met by people or had things handed to them.
I'm so glad no one was around me when I got met.
Well, yes.
Otherwise I would no longer exist.
And then they were met. They met Admiral Marcus Finch along with Captain Inderhut and a priest of the Kik Lo'Bahl, whose name temporarily escapes me, who gave them a mission to go and search for the Holy Grail. They have a name, Isaac Hadworthy, and they know that it's about 5,000 light years close to the centre of the galaxy. So, as per usual, here's the quick introductory video, and we'll be back with you in a second.
The year is 4454. Earth has been destroyed after Sol went supernova, and humanity now finds themselves living amongst the stars with alien races beyond their imagination. Civil war, distrust, politics are all still rampant within human society, and they are only heightened by what some feel is an overreaching alien influence that threatens the old ways of true humanity. Others, of course, welcome the alien influence and seek to learn all that they can from these new and interesting races. Then, into the middle of everything comes a mysterious, powerful and dark vessel simply known as the Black Sun. It seems to have no agenda, no mission, other than to create chaos and havoc throughout the galaxy, attacking human spaceships and settlements without provocation, and leaving no survivors. What the galaxy needs now, more than ever, is a band of dedicated heroes who can stand between the Black Sun and those whom it would destroy.
So, we are now on.
Robbing me.
Old Bean.
You trying to take my shit now?
I have got no diploma. I've got no sleight of hand or anything.
Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention before the credits roll. Of course, Callahan, Christophe Shaunig's character, said he was going to step down from the captaincy of the crew, which was a split decision from at least one member of the crew drawing a comment which was he's been a fine captain and he had to serve under him again. From one other member of the crew, quote, the best decision he's made so far. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back, check episode 4 out, and then come back here to watch tonight's.
Probably watch episode 3 again as well. Just to
yes, and watch part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, quick bit of Humble Gamer bookkeeping. The first 3 sessions, which was currently split into 9 episodes, will eventually be coming out as 1 episode each. They will be long episodes like the last one was, and this one will be. So, you are on Bartholomew's Port after the meeting with Marcus Finch and the others. It was towards the end of the day, so you all went wherever you
Pardon me, I'm so sorry.
presumably the bar in Mark's case.
Welcome to the party.
You all went to sleep at whatever places you felt you could sleep. Obviously, the garrison is still currently open to you because although Callahan tried to sell it, or at least open the proceedings to sell it, it hasn't yet been sold, so it is still your ship, so you could have slept on the garrison. No one has gone across the Erebus just yet. There are other places you could sleep here. There are rooms in the grog barrel. You could have paid for a night in the brig if you wanted just a cheap night. Some of you could have gone to the Big Bang, which is a house of ill repute. And of course, there were other places in along the ship. There were places in the market where you could literally just bunk up for a credit and spend the night. So, does anyone have a particular choice of where they would have gone to sleep?
The ones which are like a credit, you know, have you played Deus Ex?
No. Sorry.
Like in Japan and like in futuristic movies, they have boxes on the wall.
Not so much on this kind of ship, on this kind of station, because this is very much a low-fi station. It's literally just a metal bunk that folds out from the wall.
Okay, cool.
Probably weren't there in the original design of the ship. They look like they presumably that's where you were thinking of staying.
Yeah, I'll keep on that.
What you would have got for your 1 credit was literally a slab of metal that just folds out that you can see has been nailed. It doesn't. The metal doesn't match the metal of the walls, and it's the thinnest sheet. And there's not much of a mattress on it. There's like a very thin little thing, kind of like a sort of metallic divan. So a very thin mattress.
How long does the market stay open?
It's very much a 24-hour operation because, of course, in space there is no night and day. So.
And is there a shooting range?
Not in the market area.
But no. Like if I went over to, because we're obviously pretty good with the people. Maybe the security will let me use the pod area. For
they would probably do that. So
I might. I've acquired this alien gun from somewhere.
you have acquired some alien gun from somewhere. We don't know where.
No, totally. It's a good thing Jim's talking and paying
It's
no
a really good
attention.
What have we missed out on?
Nothing, just the umbrella slip down.
I'm going to have to watch Strack now.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it such a chore to watch my channel?
So I'd like to go and try that out.
Check out Homeball Gamer.
You go in there. The security. You think is this before you've gone to sleep? During the night? During the night?
It should be before I go to bed.
Before you go to
bed. Last thing I'm going to do before I go to bed.
Yeah. Word has got around that members of people who arrived on the garrison, the damaged Earth ship, through the security forces, that you are sort of in with the captain, so you are allowed to pass through. And what you find is a very simple thing. The sort of shooting range having Men in Black, the sort of where things pop up.
Yeah.
It's very much that kind of thing, except it's instead of cardboard, it's holographic.
Cool.
And
Can I get a program so they look like him?
You can ask. You can give them a description, same as you would on a holodeck in Star Trek. Yes, you can program that in.
Cool.
So we see. So is that what you've been doing before you go to bed, shooting holographic images of him
with his own gun? Yeah.
With his own gun. You can see where this one might be going. So, and then where do you decide to?
What's the gun like? How does it work? Is it any good? Is it? Would you say it's better than my shotgun I've got?
Could you pass me your character sheet?
I really, you should have given me all this.
I'm assuming it's just going to say yes. What you find is it's an automatic pistol, which it's quite easy to actually. Do you have use alien technology on your character sheet? It's the same as use magic device.
Nope.
So I'll tell you what. If you could do a straight intelligence roll for me.
Yep, I can try. I haven't got much.
Also, just out of interest, just because it might affect. I don't think it does. Have you used the thing you were given in the last session, or are you still using?
No, not yet. I've only just got it. I'm not using either of them at the moment.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So it's a straight.
Because otherwise I would be
yes. So it's a straight intelligence roll.
Ha! A 9. I am not impressed.
9. With a 9, you find it extremely difficult to use. You manage to. You sort of. It looks like a standard gun like you've sort of seen before, but the trigger doesn't respond quite as well as you would like it to. It doesn't fire smoothly as an automatic weapon could. So yeah, it's very much that. When you do get it to fire, it's very much that sort of situation. And it's one of those wonderful moments where when you finally let go of the trigger and finish, the smoke clears and you see every other hologram has been destroyed apart from the one that looks like who is stood there, and you've even programmed in his slightly we'll use a Jim Kelly word, his slightly snide grin, so it's sort of mocking you as you...
You might say that, it's just a mask, isn't it?
With the cock and balls on.
Yeah,
that's got a cock and balls.
Cock and balls staring back at you.
Don't forget about this.
Untouched.
Although, we should point out, I'm assuming, given that you've got full control, is this now a 3D cock and balls that is just protruding from his face on the whole?
I want an actual image of him. I don't want to make it look ridiculous.
Oh, obviously, yeah. That's the important thing here.
So it doesn't seem like, from what I could tell from using it, it doesn't seem like this gun is anything that special. It's just an alien assault rifle.
It's just an alien. It's an alien automatic rifle that you can't quite get your head around.
Cool. And I will go and sell it and then go to bed.
Wonderful. So you go. I'm presuming you go to the market area.
Yeah. I'll go through a couple of the stalls, try and get the best deal I can for it.
If you could do a, we'll do a diplomacy, I think.
Okay, cool. I've got to stop eating grapes. It's such a belch brew. That'll be a 14.
A 14. With a 14, you don't find a specialist, so you feel like you could probably get the best price for
Well,
it.
if I'm doing looking for someone,
I mean,
it's only going to be a search or a search to see if I can find more than that.
Okay, yeah, no, we'll do that first. We'll do a. I think that's probably right. So do a search first.
Okay.
You can re-roll since it's a different roll. Swap dice already.
Yeah. 21.
21. Yes.
That's
you,
right.
Okay, you do manage to find a specialist weapons dealer who knows exactly what he's dealing with. And he looks at you and goes, "He's not. What you can tell is he's humanoid." But he's not a pure, to use a Harry Potter phrase, he's not a pure blood human. From what you can see, his DNA has obviously been mixed with something. You don't strictly recognise what it is at the moment. And he looks at you and goes, it's a good gun, like gun, very much like gun. You look to sell?
Or trade?
Or trade? Okay. Let's see. What do I?
Like a like for like, as good, something as good.
Yeah, he sort of looks through it and he where the heck have I put my dice are in my bag? I am so prepared for this evening.
This is a terrible start.
I hope you keep that in.
DM ever.
Just had a nice wide shot of your ass.
It's not the first time he's asked me why.
And he looks through and he says, "Oh, well, can't find. God, let's see. Must be something in here." And he reaches in and he pulls out most of the bits of this gun are holding on, but it's not quite as clean as you might expect a straight trade to be. You suspect that this gun has had several previous murderers, and
is he trying to shortchange me?
you can roll a sense motive check.
18.
18. Hell? Yeah, he is desperately trying to shortchange you. You suspect that he really is holding something back. You have knowledge. You see. Okay, cool. Look through. Now this very special item, and he pulls out. In Fallout.
Yeah.
The sort of 10mm pistol thing. Think that look-wise, but it's slightly larger, slightly wider, and it has 2 barrels.
I'm liking the way this is going.
It's and he says, now this good weapon, but one small issue with weapon is only shoots bullets.
Okay.
Only shoots bullets. So is good over long range, but won't do huge damage. So not a good, decent stopping power. Not going to knock them down in one.
Well, maybe you should throw something else in there, because I mean, I am bringing you quite a interesting alien gun that I'm sure you don't see many of those. I mean, I can't see many of those around your shop.
If we can try a diplomacy check.
This is what I'm going to fuck up. Yeah, right. 18.
18. Wow, Mark is on a roll. And he goes, I think I have something. And he clicks through, and he pulls out 2 magazines.
Ah!
And he says, now. I
One
see.
Playboy, one.
Yeah.
Don't laugh like that. That's terrible.
Jugs. Playboy.
It was wind.
He says, now. I know. I see. Look. But don't worry. Krishna get good deal for you. You see, these not ordinary bullets. And he sort of takes one out the top of the chamber, and you look at it, and the bullet is yellow.
Okay.
He says, you see, in this bullet, he said, he turns it round, and you see a very tiny, on the sort of butt of the bullet, you see a very tiny atomic symbol. Don't mistake. Not going to make them mutate or go green or shit like this, but they have tiny little amount of nuclear material in, which has potential to do extra damage, but it depends on enemy, depends on accuracy, obviously, so basically, if they hit full on, they do serious damage, but you have to really hit accurately. So he then says, "You happy with this? You happy?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, there you go. Now give me alien gun."
Put the pistol out. Put the magazines away.
Good doing business with you. Yes, you come back. I maybe find other things for you. You come back.
I'll
you
try
come
and
back.
find. What, you interested in alien tech? Because we've got an alien tech spaceship that I can. It was.
Spaceships, not so much my kind of area.
What
but-
about a suit? One of the hazmat suits that the same aliens wear?
No, thing with hazmat suits again, not really my area. I deal in shooty bang bangs, not in protective things or flyy things. But good doing business with you. And
That's a real expert referring to weapons
Yeah,
shooting back.
have you still got my pad, Jim? Just so I can write
Yes.
down. Just so I can write down all the things Mark got for totally not your gun.
You took the ammo out of the gun,
I think I did actually.
So yes, while I'm quickly writing this down, we've dealt with you. We've dealt with shoots you now. So you get. Where do you go to bed instantly?
I will go and pay for lodgings in the place you said.
The market area or
No, slightly up more class. The grog barrel.
the grog barrel? Okay, that'll be 5 credits.
Cool.
We shall come to. Actually, I think given that his gun's just been sold, Mr. Klutz.
Name Floods.
Mr. Klutz, where do you decide to go?
I'm going to go and search out for Ash, actually.
It's going to go by again.
Okay, so
This is all happening at the same time.
I'm not, mate, because I didn't do any of that.
no, it's fine.
I will be.
Oh, nice, you done it up it.
Yeah, but you've owned a whole can of fucking pain. So this is just night time now.
Yeah, we're just sort of the station, and obviously because there's no sunrise and sunset place, it's not round a planet or anything.
So,
What they do is they sort
what's
of
that brig thing?
the brig.
Yeah.
It's the jail. But if you really want, you can, because it is a very secure place. When this station was not owned by pirates, it was used as a brig. Nowadays, it is used as a brig when they have to, but because of the kind of people they get here, brig doesn't usually be necessary because they end up shooting each other. So now people who are on the run specifically in this station use the brig as secured quarters.
How much is it to stay there?
It would be 10 credits for the night.
I think it might be worthwhile me going there.
How much is it to pay to have one of those rooms sabotaged?
You'll have to have another turn.
That would depend on the guard you spoke to and specifically what you were trying to do. So is that what you're...
So I'd like to go in there and I'd like to scout the place out and see what's going on.
What you see when you walk in, you see a fairly standard prison. There are about 10 rooms on either side that are very high security. Big thick metal doors, tiny little portholes to look out of.
Can I see CCTV?
You could do a spot check.
4!
You're right, there's 4.
What's your grand total?
Hang on. Just to let you know, it's 4.
No, you don't see any sign of CCTV or any sort of surveillance that has survived the piratification.
Okay, so what else do I see then? Is there any people there?
A couple of the rooms have, what you see is the portholes are different colours. Some rooms have a sort of whitey blue porthole, others have a red porthole. You suspect that the red porthole is for rooms that are occupied, and there are about 4 rooms, 3 on the one side, 1 on the other, that are currently red. Everything else seems to be.
In that case, I I go up to one of the rooms and I just get my head down.
Yeah, that's fine. So you go to sleep. Please do take. I'm trusting you guys will take the credits off your own character sheet.
Yep. So what's the rubber?
There is a load of them here. Ex-Captain Callahan, what is your first non-captainly move to be?
Chris, you haven't done my money.
Am we?
Did I rob that as well? Because I did a really good search.
I'm sure we did. I'll find it in a. You can afford it. We did it in a book.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
can
it's
afford
in
it.
another book. You can definitely afford it.
I'm going to go to the... Was Dead Man's Boots the kind of bric-a-brac
Yes.
shop? And try and basically find some stuff for my
That's cool.
new... I'm going to go into some ammunition. It can be just any old...
As you open the door, you hear the familiar sort of fucking bollocks,
Yeah.
crap, fucking shit all over the place. No one's bringing the fucking supplies in. Yes, what do you want?
Well, I don't go to the counter, I'll just basically...
Okay, yeah, cool, yeah.
Any old bits I think it would shoot.
Okay, are you trying to not be seen picking up these things, or are you?
No, because I'm going to just go and buy them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's fine. So, yes, you have a look around. If you could do a quick search check for me.
Yeah.
Something specific. Oh yeah, I wouldn't. Actually, no. That dice has
good
been
to
hot
know.
all night.
A search check, was that?
Yes.
That will be 14.
14.
Slightly more than
You find a number of little tiny badges and epaulets and things like that. Pins.
Okay.
A couple of boxes of pins. You find some
Is that
blunted but still, do you think, dangerous cutlery?
Yeah.
Those sorts of things. And presumably, you gather them all
Yeah.
up. You don't find anything that you think that would be really, really great in this gun, but you find enough to. You reckon you've probably got ammo for about 15, 20 shots, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, put 20 ammo down.
Okay.
Um,
And how much?
I didn't actually know the full capacity on that for you. I shall do that
Okay.
as well. And that comes to a grand total of. He sort of looks at you and goes, "The hell do you want this stuff for?"
Well, if you want to keep it, you can.
No, it's fine. I'll just get me. And he sort of brings out his.
It's a shop, right?
It sounds like Dylan Moran, doesn't it? So
I'm going to say something to you now because I've never said to anyone before. You're going to have to get a job. Black box. Yeah, he sort of brings out this sort of ledger and
I thought he was trying to be Scottish.
You wait until Terry gets involved in this game. I will Scottish the fuck out of this. I do apologise to any Irish people, it's not what I claim to do. He sort of has a look and he's not a very intelligent man. So he sort of looks at it and goes, I don't know, that'll be about, for this lot, call it 10 credits, that'll do.
I'll watch that.
10 for 20 shots.
Oh no, wait, hold on. Yeah. 5 credits. Sorry, he did a bad mathematics wrong. 5 credits for this lad. I can't move. I kind of just toss him.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Wonderful.
And there's nowhere else where you want to go to. So I haven't been to bed yet.
No, you haven't.
Okay. Is there anywhere that just kind of has like a large window that I can kind of like stare out to?
Observation zone on top level.
Okay. I'll go to the observation
Yeah.
dome, and I'm guessing there's seating in there.
Yeah, when you walk in, it's very much like this point is basically the prow of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So on a traditional pirate ship, that would be where the long sort of the headmast and the stuff like that is. Headmast. But what they've got now is they've got a sort of spherical dome with about 3 levels of viewing on. It's got those typical sort of things like you find at Blackpool Beach, like the sort of telescopes that you put a credit in and have a look out.
Have they got a claw machine?
Yes. This is it's kind of a sort of and sort of back when you come in through the market area, there's sort of like the when you come into the market area, you sort of enter into what would be the sort of parade along Blackpool.
Please
Pier,
tell me there's a cutout of an alien where you can put your head through.
Not quite, but there is a cutout. There is a cutout of the local solar system, which has 10 planets in, and you can put your head in any one of the 10. You'll also find like E.T. Read Your Fortune, that sort of thing. Where you put your hand on it. Typical sort of seaside attraction. But as you sort of move away from the market area, you get into very much it's very much like a promenade on a beach. And you can just look out onto the black ocean of space.
Nice.
I will do that. I will find a deck chair or beach lounger, and if there is such a thing,
there are
or a chair
loads of benches,
by itself.
loads of benches and stuff.
Something basically that I can fall asleep in.
Yeah, that's not
But
a
I just
problem.
want to kind of do it staring out.
That's not a problem.
space.
If you could do a spot check for me.
Try to be as email as possible. 15.
With a 15, you sort of look around and you sort of see a very forlorn, world-weary looking man who you think is probably almost like the sort of keeper of this area. You sort of see him occasionally like shuffling couples off because they're being a bit too handsy in public.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look like he enjoys his job. He sort of shuffles them off and then sits exactly where they were sitting and just goes,
At least you sniff the thing first.
no, he didn't sniff it. Oh, actually, just do it. No, he didn't sniff it. Why am I rolling a charisma check on that? But no, he doesn't sniff it. And you sort of see him sit down. He sort of looks over at you. And sort of, you get the idea that he's kind of like, he doesn't say anything, he sort of gives you that look of, you shouldn't sleep here, but I'm not gonna fucking do anything. So just be quiet. That sort of look of,
He's got to do some work.
yeah, he sort of not quite nods at you, but sort of inclines and then sort of just adjusts his seating position so he's not looking at you falling asleep.
Okay.
And he then promptly falls asleep on the same place.
Did you pull out a nice brown paper bag with a bottle in it? Take a sup.
Would there be someone to order a drink up there, or was there?
There's a couple of little sort of
all about
very
the stations.
yeah, space hot dog stands and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you can sort of buy the cheapest stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay, I'll just sit down there and stare out and drift
That's-
off.
not.
Basically anywhere away from Layla and
That's what you want to do?
Yes.
the murdering alien.
Layla walks with you as far as the brig, but she then says to you, "I'm going to go and stay in the market."
Three hundred I love the bucket.
Whereabouts am I sleeping on? I know you said I'm just on a.
In the market area, you're along the sort of sleeping bits are along the top edges.
Okay, that's good. Because my priority next day was to try and find.
And Layla didn't see you at all, so she sort of walks and ends up somewhere over here. And then scope. You can't really see, not been necessarily following you guys around since this chat. He's been very much in his own sort of world behind the mask.
Fallen asleep in there, then, hasn't he?
Probably got Scope finds an airbend. This is cosy. What's that water? Yeah, you sort of he probably you think heads. Actually, could you do a spot check?
Do I have that pad back, please?
Yes, of course you can.
11. Really looking for him.
Yeah, you don't see anything. And Terry, he actually goes back to the garrison, just to rest in the room that he is now all too familiar with, having been in there for 3 sessions.
Terry's room. Keep out. Stop touching my stuff.
That's right, he can stay on that when he moves to the Erebus.
I cannot wait to get on board this baby.
Jim and I are actually friends. I'm not being a dick just because I'm.
It's not true, he broke his heart. It's 4 years now.
Okay,
You shot, mate.
Sweet.
Mate, fully aware.
Any more funny business, mate? It's not going to need.
What funny business?
Dude,
I'm unarmed.
I've got a beautiful new gun that I really need to try out.
Right.
Member of a militant warmongering alien race.
We shall come to in the morning. We shall come to Jim Kelly first.
Yeah.
I presume, therefore, you will head to. Well, what do you do? Because the answer to your note is you can try.
Okay, great. I look out the. I look through the peepee hole.
Yep.
Looking for your pee-pee hole.
Jim, you know who you're playing this game with. I have no
I
sympathy.
look through every eye.
4 eyes. 2 green, 1 pink, 1 brown.
I am.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Marc. So I look at the peepee hole. Do I see any problems?
No.
Okay, so I go for a walk and I look around and try and find a specialist gun store to start with.
Okay, so you go to the market area.
Yeah.
If you could do a search check for me.
Probably not, actually.
I would love it if he gets a 1.
Oh.
8.
8. What's the total of your search?
8.
You find stalls that sell some guns, but you don't find what you would call a specialist gun store.
Okay, that's fine. So I go there and I say, I'll go to one and say, what's this?
What's what?
That thing that I showed you earlier. The first
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. You sort of, and you've gone to possibly the worst gunsmith
Fucking hell, what's wrong with
in
you?
the station. He goes, it's a gun. You point it and pull the trigger and it kills things.
Alright. I say, have you got any ammo that'll fit it? Do you know what it is?
He, presumably you pass him the
Yeah,
gun
yeah,
because
yeah.
the kind of gun you've got.
I say,
How's he got a gun? When did someone give him a gun?
You don't know I've got a gun.
When did someone give him a gun?
I love it when all the stuff comes out.
I'm unarmed because you've stolen my gun.
And
It's a bastard.
and the
I've
gun,
never given him a gun.
the gun that Jim, that
Fucking
Klutz,
Terry.
the gun
Fucking
that
Terry,
the
man.
gun that Klutz hands to this gunsmith is a very old revolver-looking gun which has a golden circle round the barrel.
Why not? It's full.
No, we've got it because it was in the airlock. So someone picked it up from the airlock.
Yeah, it came to the airlock after.
You picked it up. You had it though, right?
No,
Yeah,
I don't believe you did.
I swore I picked up that gun.
Who's got it then?
I've got it.
No, before
One of us had that gun.
Not one of us, but one
Someone,
of
yeah, someone had that gun.
Yes, someone did take that gun and has passed it on.
It's fucking Terry!
It's been. I think he's passed it around.
You know, Terry is a lovely chap.
Terry doesn't use guns then, so.
Yeah, so he doesn't need it, he passed it on.
Scope.
And what this guy does is he takes
He's trying to. He's playing
he
you.
takes this gun and he takes out the revolver section, and if you could roll a spot check for me, because the thing is he is looking at it, not you, he's looking at it sort of like this. 10. Oh, no, probably not. Actually, no, we'll see.
I haven't rolled 20 yet in 3 rolls.
He hasn't. Have you rolled 20 in the game yet?
Rolled 2.
What this guy does is he sort of looks at it and goes, well, this is a kind of gun I've never seen before. Sort of holds it up so you can see, and what you see is where you would normally see 6 round chambers, you see 4 triangular chambers. And he goes, whoa, this is not it's a gun. I've never seen ammunition like this. I've never seen a triangular prismoid ammunition, so
Just take the words.
You should really just get rid of it.
It was a Christmas novelty.
Get it back.
It's like the cornball
intimidate.
in Mexico.
20.
That's running.
Yeah.
What do you have anything else in intimidate?
Don't need it, but no. Oh yeah, 22.
Whoa,
You don't know
22. You beat him by 2.
Oh, lovely.
And he goes, alright. I don't want any trouble.
That bloody time.
I don't want any trouble. You can.
Klutz doesn't even listen, he walks off.
Okay, that's cool.
Is there any more stores?
Not with the roll you got. Not you don't see anything else.
Okay, he heads off to where he said he was going to.
Okay, so you will head towards one of the hangars.
Okay.
And to do what you've got to do, because it's you can't reach it directly from here without a shuttle.
He's trying to get to the Erebus!
So
What a fucking... We need to kill this alien.
What do you do?
I look around. I look around for a ship. Can I see anything?
Are you looking for now? What are you looking? Are you looking for a ship that will take you over with someone else, or are you looking at a ship that you can nick? Or
I'm looking for somehow to get there.
okay, if you do a quick search check,
I rolled a 20 last time. Not
what? A natural 1. You look around. There are
no ships. No ships at all. You're facing the wrong way.
you look around, and all the unattended ships have guards outside them that you don't think you could get through. The ships that you suspect could maybe get you there are they're not in there. You don't see anything that could take you there. You don't see what you would call a public transport system.
What a fucking...
So I hate to do it, Jim. I do hate to do it, Jim, but
yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. You didn't tell me how much new camo I've actually got.
you have 2 clips, which is 20 rounds.
20 rounds per clip?
20 rounds per clip.
Okay, so 40. And how much normal ammo did I get with that?
So you didn't get any normal ammo.
Really? Didn't give me anything?
Nope, just gave you those.
What a cock. Okay, I'll buy some ammo.
And
They're
in
not
that
at the
case,
Erebus.
in that case, we will come to. We'll do yours in a bit, Mr. Shaunig. We'll do yours in a little while.
Yeah, sure.
We come to you next, Mr. Rusty. What are you going to do this morning when you wake up from the market area?
Do you write in there what I've got for that?
Yes, I do.
Jesus Christ, Jim.
Spoon
fed.
What that we haven't got.
Good. Tell you what he's not going to have by the end of the game.
I'd like to wake up
Long
early and have read the memoirs of Jonathan Shue.
Yes, okay.
As well as the...
It's not much, Jim.
As well as things about artificial intelligence from the books that I had originally.
Okay, can I
just to see if there's any extra knowledge I've got out of them in the morning.
Yeah, I'll probably have to write that.
Yeah, I don't mind getting it
in
later.
a break, that's cool, yeah. Hold on, let me make a note of those actually.
Wizard's gotta read his scrolls! If there are any in there.
Yeah, cool. And I'll, just let me. What exactly are you looking for? Anything specific, or are you just reading them to see what's in there?
I'm trying to see if there's anything that links into what I've seen in there.
That.
And whether I can try and piece together who that was from it.
Yeah.
Who the name on the envelope is.
Who that is.
Yeah.
Cool.
My okay list.
Because I'm wondering why I've been given that.
All my other characters.
Okay, cool. Do you do anything else that I can...
Yeah, I would like
Your character's got
to...
no
Is there like a medical bay?
No, if when you docked,
Oh yeah, they've got no...
Ash said, could you have a stretcher standing by? And they said, well, could you have medical...
Can I do a... would it be a search check if I'm trying to just wander around the ship trying to find Layla?
Where were you in the market? If you can do... yeah, if you can do a search check, because you're both... You are in the market area, so that's where she went to bed.
Search check. That's 19.
19, yeah, she is just looking around the stalls, sort of casually wandering through. She sort of looked at her. Mr. Rusty, was it?
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
I was hoping while we were aboard this station that I could go find some medical attention.
What sort of attention do you need?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I've got big gaps in my memory.
Now, memory loss, that is a tough one. I mean, there's no facilities here. I would need computers, I would need technology to help me get a full workup, but could you just explain roughly what your problem is?
The last thing I remember before I woke up aboard the Harrow's port was a brilliant white pink explosion as I left the ship aboard an escape pod. After that, they put me aboard that garrison and sent me out to rot in space. Come past that black sun and now we're here. I don't know what it's all about, but something's gone on in that gap.
I mean, at best guess, I would say it doesn't sound like a memory wipe, because otherwise they would have wiped everything up to a certain point. But why isn't Layla suddenly gone American? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a memory wipe, but I mean, there are instances of people having their memories altered by exposure to radiation, and if you saw an explosion, obviously with your complexion would suggest that you have come into contact with a large light and or heat source. So perhaps that's what happened, but I wouldn't like to make a final prognosis until I could get you into a proper medical facility. Perhaps on this new ship that the Admiral has given us, I would have the facilities to examine you more fully. But I would certainly say that if it is a radiation issue, then I can try and retrieve some of your memories, but I can't promise to get any, if all of them back. But I will certainly do what I can, since you have as yet done nothing to me.
I'm going to say,
Well, as you know, we're not exactly the most... Well, let's say camaraderie's not exactly our strong point yet.
I have worked in tighter knit crews, that's certainly true. My father went mad and my crew was still better together than than this particular crew I've landed in.
I only need one assurance. That you'll help me try and at least get something.
Where's my... Let me see where she is, see if you need to roll for that.
As you said when you first greeted me, you just called me Rusty, that's all I've got.
You don't need to roll for it, but she says, as a doctor I shall certainly do my best for you.
Thanks, Doc.
I can offer no guarantees of success, unfortunately, with such things.
I appreciate it. Where's the prisoner?
I left him... he chose to stay in what they call the brig.
Shit.
No, don't worry, it's not... they don't use it as a brig, I don't think. It's some sort of high-security hotel. Is the impression I got. He seemed very relieved that he was there.
Well, let's suppose we go find him.
Certainly, we can do that.
Segway.
And we will now come to
Segway.
Yeah. Hover segways.
we will now come.
Just go like that. Trip over Usain Bolt. Space Usain Bolt.
Okay. So presumably you want to pursue this.
Yes, you can just give it this way if that's easier. That's what we noticed. Just
Yeah. Okay. I shall write the answers to
yeah,
that.
sure. It's
for
just
that's cool. I shall write those when we
kind
have
of
when we had our customary.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't need to be
break. Is there anything else you want to do this morning?
Oh, is it the next day now?
Yes.
Okay.
Presumably you went to sleep, so we got in the
everyone else is doing their thing.
Going to be honest, I'm going to go hunting for him in a bit.
That's fine. The one thing that I didn't actually say as Admiral Finch in the last one is that while he said you're of course welcome to talk the ship, you kind of got the impression from him that he kind of wanted to get that.
Did we all accept the mission?
I don't believe anyone. I don't believe anyone said no.
I can't remember exactly what. No one signed or anything.
No one said yes, no one said no.
Yeah, it's sort of.
We agreed to discuss how to, if we want to.
Yeah.
We agreed to meet, I think, and discuss.
He said in 3 days
Yeah.
you guys are going to meet. So this is day one of those three. But actually, what we'll do is you're going to go look for him.
Well, all I want to do, go and get some ammo, which I'm assuming I can do anyway. We don't really need to do any more.
Yeah, we can just do it.
And then I want to go and hunt for him, see if he wants to join me to go look at the ship.
Cool.
But
I'm going to go to one of the hangars.
Yeah.
To look for a ship to
Get across to.
No,
to leave. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So he then. So you'll get to a hangar, and if you could do a quick search check for me.
Will I see him?
Did you leave the hangar?
No, I'm standing around.
Roll a spot check.
Search check, sorry.
No, you're rolling a search check. He's
Yeah.
What was your search?
My search on rolls. 6. Can I take a 20 on that?
You can take a 20 on that.
Okay, I'll make it 26 then.
Yeah. What was your roll?
15.
15. Yeah, you see him enter the hangar concourse.
I'm looking for a class, like a small kind of class ship. That's probably
Yeah, that's cool. You have a look around. You see there are a number of ships for sale. One that you notice has a particularly low price.
Okay.
It looks like a 2-man shuttle.
Are we talking like
at best.
107 credits low, or
Not quite that low.
Okay.
You are looking around about the cheapest price you see. The cheapest price you see is 1,000 credits.
okay?
not far off.
It's alright. I've got a gun. It's fine.
He really wants a
Because
ship.
obviously ships in this universe are very much like cars are now. So in the second-hand ones, anything under £1,000, there isn't one here, but anything under £1,000 you tend to think it's what we would term a banger. Probably wouldn't get you very far. But you see this ship for £1,000, and there is a sort of semi-nervous looking man sort of stood next to it, kind of looking. He's not like flinching at passers-by, but he's very much sort of wringing his hands and sort of.
I'm just window shopping then at the moment.
That's
kind of
fine,
like,
yeah.
Because in his head he's kind of weighing up his options.
Yeah,
Like
and
he's got their friends. You know,
Yeah,
so
that's absolutely.
And he's got no reason really.
No, that's absolutely.
Can't remember. Did Admiral say there'd be pay or
Yes, you will get 1,000 credits a week. Should you join the Erebus crew to do their mission?
And it's. Who wants to know? Not many people know about it, do they? The mission.
The mission is completely secretive. The idea is, just to recap exactly what Marcus Finch said. The main salient points are that the Erebus is an unregistered ship.
Yes, that's right.
They have taken it off the register. It's not, the ship isn't actually called the Erebus. They have redone it and repainted it and set it up to make it the Erebus. It's a brand new ship. It used to be a Cedar class, so it's not on any military lists. They bought it outright. There is a ship with a different name and a different serial number on the Kik Lo'Bahl lists. That is this ship, but it's not it's not the same. Your mission is very simply to find information about what this guy Isaac Hadworthy has found. You don't have a strict location. You know that his last location was 5,000 light years closer to the centre of the galaxy. You are not under the command of the ISB. You're not signed up to anything.
Okay.
It's a very free-form mission. It's go out there, explore, find out what you can, and report back when you find stuff.
Sure. I'm just kind of scoping out the.
Yeah.
What's kind of the mid-range kind of what we're talking like?
Mid-range. If you're looking for something sort of between the car size and the garrison size, because it's still quite a small ship. You're looking in the region of about 6,000 credits for the lower end.
Okay.
If you want a really nice one of those, you're looking at about 15,000 sort of. But I mean, it's a pirate port.
Yeah. Well, looking for something like hit and runny kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, any ships looking for crew? Seeing as though I'm no longer part of a crew, technically.
No, you're technically not. You do see a couple of adverts.
Okay.
One
What's the
is.
buns like?
Oh, okay. One is for a.
Bunsen burner.
One is for a merchant ship, which is offering 80 credits a week.
And is that for just general dog's body, or is
That's for you would be part of the crew. You'd be. They say if you've got experience, you could maybe then work your way up to quartermaster and work your way within the company.
Yeah. Okay.
It's with the Galactic Trading Company.
Okay.
And the other one you see is it's a deep space exploration mission that is aiming to go to the Grand Canyon Belt.
Oh.
Which
is part of
is over there.
Okay.
Part of the universe.
That's within this. That's within the human sector.
Inside,
But it's actually, if you could roll an intelligence. No, we'll go with. Do you have? Let me see if it needs to be. What knowledges do you have?
Engineering and local.
Okay, that won't. No, it's not really local. So if you could do a straight intelligence check.
That'll be 19.
19. You know the Grand Canyon Belt is it's a strange aerospace that's never been fully explored. Basically what happens is when you hit, it's about 1,000 light years across, and when you hit one side of it you can see no stars. It is just a black bit of space that has nothing of any real note in it. So it's quite an important mission, you think.
Yeah.
For that they are offering you 840 credits every 2 weeks. That is 420 a month. and that you would be it's sort of for a science ensign.
Okay.
So you'd be looking at analysing data.
Oh, okay. Well, not particularly my forte.
Not especially, but again, you know, they are aware that they're gathering crew, so it's sort of got those. It's sort of got those jazzy sort of go see the world, see the universe kind of things, and underneath, you know, it sort of says in very small letters, training non-essential. So you don't suspect this is from any major government.
Okay.
And there are a couple of other people just sort of shouting out, you know, oh, I'm going this far, just fancy some company, that sort of thing. So.
Okay.
Murderers.
Does the Erebus look like one of the best?
The Erebus is the most technologically advanced ship you've come across in recent years.
Okay.
But even he's come across.
That doesn't necessarily make it the best fit. So,
As I say, I've been used to crap for like
yes,
last
you've been
6 or so years.
bouncing around the galaxy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Niall.
I got to look after my own skin, so
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll carry on just browsing
Just
basically,
browsing, yeah.
and then I guess if there's nothing else on the apart from the note, obviously they give you nothing else of use at the portal for me. I will try and head over to
Yeah, that's
the Erebus
fine.
and just have a base again, check out what it
That's
is,
cool.
and have a look around.
You saw him. Do you do anything? Do you walk towards him? Do you do anything with said information?
I've not got any information on you.
My big gun's loaded, by the way.
That's cool. Is it fully loaded?
Yeah,
Cool.
it has. It has one.
It has one. Yeah, cool.
I don't do anything though.
Okay, you just see him and sort of.
Yeah, we're just watching him guys.
Okay, that's cool.
Like a fucking hawk.
So you see him sort of
Yeah.
looking around everywhere.
As far as my character's concerned, since I'm not the captain anymore, the rest of the crew don't mean shit, basically, so I'm not kind of looking out for anyone or anything.
Okay. What are you going to?
I want ammo and I'm trying to find him.
Okay. For the ammo, if you could just do a quick search check for me.
Really?
Unless you want to go back to the same guy.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, cool.
Business.
Let me just double check. Yeah, he's got the ammo. How much would you like to buy?
How much would 100 rounds be?
100 rounds. You are looking at.
Just normal bullets.
Yeah, so we're looking at bullets aren't worth much. So 40 credits.
Yep, buy 100 rounds.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, no, like I said, search of the oldie captain.
Okay. You don't know where he is, so I'm going to have to ask you to roll another search
Yeah,
check.
I'm happy to. And if I can't find him, I want to head over to the area.
Yeah, that's cool.
That'll be another 18.
Another 18. Okay. So obviously, you know, you think about the Erebus. You think about
That's
you
one
want
of
to
those nice rolls.
You think about wanting to head over to the Erebus yourself. You sort of take a guess that think, oh, probably some other people in the sort of group are going to want to have a look at the Erebus as well. So you sort of make your way to the hangar, and as you walk in, you see him sort of scouting out. Could you roll a spot check as well, just in case?
That will be a 21.
Bloody hell.
You also see a very familiar Vokoyan-Etran alien sort of
Looking at him.
watching him,
Yeah.
but making no advance or movement of any description in his direction. Ow.
Can I do a spot check, see if I notice this claim?
Well, yeah, you can. Oh, sorry.
10.
No. You do not.
Oh, hang on.
Nope.
10.
No.
This would be good for our sneak attack.
Well, when you had 10, you didn't see him, but now you've got 10. You don't see him.
So which one can I use?
We'll go with the
Which is the highest 10?
We'll go with the 10, and I'm afraid our computer says no. So, yeah. You also sort of see.
Will I spot him though when he goes up to Callahan?
Depends when I go up to him or how I do it.
It does, yeah. It depends which angle he's coming from. But you will have. You could probably have another spot
put
check
you
if
down
he goes
first.
up. One thing.
But you know first.
Yeah.
One thing you do notice, because these two aren't particularly trying to hide it, is you see Scope and Terry sort of saunter into the hangar as well, and you get the impression they're probably looking to get to the ship as well, given everything that's gone on.
I know. We'd kill everyone.
They kind of they sort of look at you. They sort of see you guys. They kind of not arc away from you. They don't necessarily
Go and say hello.
They don't come and say hello. No, they give you not a wide berth, but they give you a berth.
As he has failed to see me completely and utterly, I want to do a bit of a move around. So I'm moving around.
Yeah, cool.
So I can get to Cal without making it obvious using ships that are around.
Okay, I shall. This is why version 5 is going to make you roll a stealth check.
Well, he failed to see me.
He did.
So-
You can take advantage of it.
It does. You can't see me. You don't know. I saw you. I know exactly where you are. So I'm just moving myself around you.
Okay, yeah. So you've sort of seen him and judged that. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you move around and he doesn't see you.
Then I'll just come close to you and just let you know. Just let you know, Cal. You've got that dirty alien seems to be following you and keeping an eye on you.
Fucking hell.
Seems to be watching you.
Following you. I've been there first.
It doesn't seem to be making a move, but I thought you'd like to know about that.
It's appreciated, actually. I think after this this recent encounter we've found ourselves in together, it's good to know that we're still looking out for each other after what happened all those years ago.
Well, we've got to know where our interests lie, right? And it's always nice to know someone might be able to help you out when you need it.
Now they're talking to each other. Can I do another spot check, please?
Don't well that, my friend, mate.
Yeah, you failed to spot that.
No, it doesn't actually work like that.
So I can see him, but now they're together, I can't see him.
If you think it's like a ship and the angle of the ship, like I could be
Yeah.
there
What while you're looking at Callahan, you see Callahan start talking to himself. There's no one there visibly, so
I'll just say, walk with me, and we'll start basically walking off.
yeah. At which point you do then see you don't have to do a spot check for that. You see Ash quite clearly. Where are you two? Are you needing anywhere specific? Or
well, I was going to suggest think about taking a tour of the Erebus. Even if I do decide to carry on with that, I want to get there before the alien does, just in case that Greyskin decides to try and take control himself.
I agree, we were dealing with a dangerous individual, and I don't agree with him being let off the garrison, if I'm being honest, so I think it's a good idea that we go and check things out.
I mean, you saw the reaction, obviously, in the when you were walking through the security barracks, and the reaction the other aliens gave him, and the almost scene of laughter he got. I can imagine if he wanted to, he could get them to come and crew for him, and who knows what that would mean for us.
This is true, but perhaps he might be on some mission for them now, which is why he's following me around. I don't give a shit about him, so I don't know why he's watching me.
I think there's
I'm
bound to
going
be
to approach them.
Perhaps
you can approach them.
I'm sure there's a few airlocks we can find on the ship. Shall we try and find our way onto the Erebus then? Maybe see if we can find...
if there's a little jump, like a shuttle.
There will be a shuttle. What do you try and do?
I'll go up to him and say, what was you scouting out, just? That's to Callahan, because I've been there watching.
I'll walk off.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
I walk with him.
At this point, you and Layla were looking for him. Layla manages to lead you back to the hangar.
Roll a 1.
So now, all of you in very separate groups.
Yeah.
All of you are now in the hangar. And at this point,
Really is.
Could you roll a spot? Could you two roll a spot check for me?
It's not, it's a 9.
22.
15.
15. You both see, coming through the crowd towards you, Admiral Marcus Finch. You nearly bump into him. He sort of sees it and goes, says, "Ah, good, you're all together. Come with me. Let's go have a look at the."
Looking around, it's just us two. We're like, yeah, we're the only ones. The others aren't really worth your time.
If you could do a diplomacy check for me.
Have you just got 18s and 17s on there?
I've been 19.
19. Could you please re-roll? You got a dead straight. You get a dead equal.
Bollocks. That was awful. That'll be 11.
Oh, that's about time.
Yeah. He turns around and says, "Well, I did offer the mission to all of you, so I'd like all of you to see the ship. So, by this point, you two have followed him. Scope and Terry have sort of not followed you, but not followed you, and they sort of walk up to you and they both agree. Presumably you're okay to go on the ship.
Yeah, I'm keen to meet up with the Admiral since
Yeah.
found out anything.
You want to go on the ship? Yes, and you two want to go on the ship. Layla wants to go on the ship. Everybody wants to go on the ship.
She was never part of the crew. She was a
She
passenger.
was there at the meeting, and she
She's
said
one doctor,
and
she
she's
was
also
one
looking
doctor.
after him.
And she's my captain now as well.
And I'm looking
And so in that
after
case, right, follow me.
She's so hostile.
And he leads you through the hangar
I'm just a patient.
to what looks like a. Think of what the Americans send up into space now, the shuttle.
Yeah.
But think of that. It's much sleeker. It's full metal, sort of pearlescent blue. Full metal jacket, no. Sort of pearlescent blue. And it can hold about from the outside. You guys have all seen space. It can hold about 15 people. And he sort of leads you in. And on the side of it is actually could you all, and I'll do it for these two, could you all do a spot check? And I'll do it for later as well.
Jim, your bad luck's run up welcome for my dice.
13.
11.
25.
Nice. So, if you notice that I've basically got a change of gun.
I can just about see you.
The alien just gone. Nice new
I will be.
I didn't notice the gun before, I just noticed something I recognised.
I want Brickersnail's glasses.
Okay, what did you get?
25.
25?
11.
11.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, you got a 1. 13. Okay, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You sort of see that there's a bit of the ship's paintwork that is a bit mussed up. You and Scope and Layla all sort of see. You see it scuffed up, and you think it's something. You think there was something painted there before it got scuffed up. What Terry and yourself see, it's Terry, is you can make out the outline of of a very old logo, which looks like the shape of the Earth with a pair of golden wings behind it. What was the knowledge you had?
Engineering and local.
Engineering and local. No, you won't be able to get that. Let's see if Terry can. No, he can't. But you see that it has been. You don't think it was. You don't think it's a battle scar or anything. You think it's been deliberately scratched or attempted to be etched off or painted over.
So the old Royal Mail vans that went out.
Yeah,
So
basically.
So it kind of faded a little bit.
And you also meet the priest there, whose name completely escapes me, and I really should fucking know it because I made him up.
So
you see
Kik
the
Lo'Bahl
Kik Lo'Bahl
yeah.
priest as well, and he sort of says, "Welcome, welcome. It'd be good to take you on a tour of the ship. I don't know why you suddenly become Kif." And he sort of heads on, and Admiral Finch sort of says, "Well, if we're all ready to go, then please make your way on board." I presume you all do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all take your seats, and Finch comes on. Sort of does a very definite set of knocks on the back of the cockpit door, and the ship, you feel, starts to head off away from the hangar.
How are the seats in the ship?
The seats, it's very similar to, if you remember the very first session, I know you weren't there, Jim, but for the very first session on the Brunel, that was basically a large plane space. This is a small plane space. It's about, two rows.
2 rows. Okay, is it 2 groups, seats of 2?
Two columns on each one. So group of 2, group of 2, group of 2, with a row of 3 at the back, like a bus. You got on sort of at the midpoint. So there's, let me use a quick math. 3 sets of 2 and 2 at the front, and then 3 more sets of 2 and 2 with the set of 3 right across the back.
I'm just going to lean into Callahan, very quietly whisper, bench of 3 at the back. Could take our great young friend up the back. Can he never get on the ship?
You're welcome to try.
I don't respond.
That's fine. Do you go sit front or back?
Just anywhere.
Yeah, okay, you grab a seat. Presumably you go
Follow
with him.
Oh, is it just us on the shuttle? There's enough room for us to all spread out?
Yeah, you can spread. There's 7 of you, well 8 of you including the Kik Lo'Bahl and Finch, and there are 15 seats.
I'll sit on the opposite side to him.
Yeah, so between him. Where do you go? And
I'll go down the front.
okay, Layla follows you. So if you guys sit in the second row, you kind of see this alien sort of make a point of sitting directly in front of the captain, and Layla sits next to him.
You can sit wherever he wants.
Yeah. Where do you sit, Rusty?
So it's not less than
One corner, I've like a spare 2 seats.
Yeah.
Sit up, put my feet on them and chat.
hostile.
So Rusty sort of climbs in and uses the seats as a bed.
It's the most comfy thing I've slept on.
Yeah, and Terry Terry and Scope sort of sit at the back, sort of just, again, same as you guys want on the other side. And you head out,
Scope kind of leans back.
and we shall take a small gap there. So in the, what I'm going to do in these videos now, YouTube, is we're going to have, what will follow is a bit of lore about the series, because I realise that actually a lot of the names I'm throwing out, like alien names and things like that, will mean nothing to you because I made them all up. So enjoy whatever thing I've put in here. We'll see you in a sec, guys.
The year is 4454 and the sun is gone. It unexpectedly went supernova in 3992, leaving humanity in space without their ancestral home or central government, forcing them to make their own way in the increasingly hostile blackness of space. The human galaxy has been split between 4 major powers: the Interstellar Bureau, the Celestial Conclave, the New Sol Republic, and the League of Former Earth Dependents. A bloody civil war rages between the Republic and the Dependents, with the Republic seeking full control of the Dependents based upon the new Galactic Treaty. The Bureau, remnants of the old Earth government, are desperately trying to act as mediators, largely unsuccessfully, while the Conclave remains entirely removed as they search the galaxy for evidence of the Creator. They are trying to achieve this with help from one of the 3 alien races that humans have encountered, the Kik Lo'Bahl, a highly enlightened race who claim to have personal dealings with the Creator. The other 2 races are the highly militant Vokoin-Etrus, who are openly acting as arms suppliers to both the Republic and the Dependents in their civil war, and the mysterious and somewhat feared Yerla, a race of humanoid bird-like beings who wander the galaxy in silent ships and are seen as a bad omen, as a great catastrophe and death always befall any who gaze upon them. With the help and charity of the Kik Lo'Bahl, the Vokoin-Etran and many of the smaller races, humanity bought, traded and explored their way across the stars.
But now, civil unrest, petty squabbles, and the threat of the mysterious Black Sun threaten to shatter the fragile foundations of humanity's position in space, and the alien governments are watching with interest, some more than willing to swoop in and pick up any pieces that are left for themselves.
So we are back where we left it. The crew are flying on a very small shuttle with an unusual symbol on it, as spotted by Terry and Callahan. They have, by now, they have reached the SS Erebus. It is a very uneventful journey. It's only about 5 minutes, and you enter into the engineering level, level 3. You come in through the boarding and airlock area. What happens is the shuttle... Oh no, correction, you don't. You come in through the shuttle bay. Here, the shuttle lands. You can see around you, you can see where are all my notes. You can see 5 other shuttles that are... They look very uniform. They are painted in the same style as the Erebus, so this sort of gunmetal grey. You can see 5 other shuttles lining. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one in the middle there. The shuttle safely lands and lets you all out. Admiral Marcus Finch sort of stands at the bottom of the stairs as he welcomes you. Says, "Welcome, gentlemen, to the SS Erebus, pride of the very secretive fleet we have, in that it is the only ship in this secretive fleet." You are now standing in the shuttle bay. Through these doors are the engineering level. We should take you level by level. Any questions you have, please do ask on the way. At which point he sort of leads you through the shuttle bay doors, which are 2 large doors that sort of open like that. And as you pass through, you enter into a very wide, industrial-looking complex. In front of you there is a large circular walled area. On either side you see very thick looking pressure walls, and now is the time for you to explore the ship. Admiral Marcus Finch sort of says, now obviously I can lead you on a guided tour, or you can all look at individual areas. So there are places that you particularly want to look at, systems you want to examine. Now is the time to do so.
I think you're just speaking from my own mind. It might be worth us all moving through together. There isn't too much trust within us at the party at the moment, and it would make sense for everyone's peace of mind instead of letting the greyskin go by itself.
We're what? 4 minutes in. Marcus says, I happen to agree. I think that is perhaps, I thought there might be. I think that's perhaps a good plan to keep us all together. So, what you see here, gentlemen, is the engineering concourse. Above you, he sort of points up, you see many rows of computers that can be reached by ladders and gangways that lead up these sort of walls here. For YouTube, it's
Can I do an engineering check?
You can do an engineering check. What are you looking for specifically?
More to see if this feels good. Do you know what I mean? So sort of in the sense of if Anflash was in a place with massive magic.
Yeah. What you can gather from what you look around, you see on these grounds, you see many different panels that you believe are accessing different systems. You suspect this is... It's not state-of-the-art technology for what the era is, but when it was built, it was probably one of the most high-tech ships. From an engineering point of view, you're looking at, you're thinking this is probably about...
I haven't rolled anything, so I don't know.
Oh, well, if you'd like to roll the engineering check for me.
Just let him get going.
20.
20. From an engineering point of view, you reckon this ship is probably about 2 years old. So it's reasonably new.
It's far newer than Garrison.
Yes, far newer than the Garrison. The Garrison was about 6 or 7 years old. You see that a lot of the systems are obviously at the moment it's not powered down, but it's not in what you would call running mode. You couldn't you couldn't go into battle with it. You couldn't fly it at the moment. It's got to be all. The ignition's not on, basically. But you kind of know that this is a good ship. It's much more high tech than the Garrison. For example, the Garrison couldn't fit in the shuttle bay, but it could comfortably fit in this engineering concourse.
So would it be the most advanced ship that I would have experienced?
For your character, yes. This is far beyond anything you have seen.
So like he hadn't experienced, like he can't really remember the old one, but
no,
this
but
is way above.
This is above that.
No memories.
We'll come to that later, Jim.
Can I roll? I'll roll an engineering as well to see if anything like looks familiar to things that I would have been armed, probably not with a 3. So.
With a 3, no, you look at it.
7.
A 7, you sort of look at it and you go, this is high tech stuff.
Yeah.
Admiral, this is it's a pretty fine ship you've given us here.
Well, given the nature of the mission, we needed to give you something that was not necessarily a jack of all trades, but something that could do a little bit of everything. It's much better at some things than it is at others. If you will come with me this way, and he leads you into the engineering concourse through here. This is where you will get a massive engineering hard-on because it's just a circular wall. It's a sort of tall sphere that goes up to the deck itself is about 2 or 3 stories high. In terms of, like, you think of it in terms of what the ships you guys have seen. The Garrison could probably fit across this bay 3 times, and you could have another Garrison on top of it. So it's quite a tall and quite a big area. In here, you see just a wall of engineering computers that are all different systems that can. That he points at a lot of systems, and he says. From here you can control power, the engines, life support. There is and he then points to a large console somewhere around about this area.
Is that the airlock control?
It's not the airlock control. And he said, this is the main engineer's console. It is of course password protected, and only the chief engineer can access it with his password via voice recognition. If such time as the chief engineer is not available, the only other person that can access it is the captain, and he has to know the chief engineer's security code for that to work. Indeed, yes.
Is there any this looks like a pretty advanced ship. Is there any form of artificial intelligence built into, stop any failed safes from rogue crew members, just so we can have peace of mind?
Yes. If anyone has any other questions about the engineering concourse, then please do follow me. And he leads you into this, in the middle of this large sphere, which is slightly more open. In the centre, there is a closed-off tube, which is about 10 meters across. Leads you in, and all around you are just masses of computer banks. It looks like hard drive. There is a single console with 1 chair. And it is huge. Runs the whole length. He says, this is the ship's computer core. It's 2 stories of drives, and it can hold a complete total of 500 terawatts of information. Apart from basic system procedures and the incorporated knowledge that we have from the ISB and Kik Lo'Bahl scouting reports on your particular mission, this is pretty much all but empty. You've probably got about 1 terawatt worth of information on there at the moment. From here you can also access, he says you can also access any black boxes that you've come across, so you can analyse any data. And in answer to your question, Mr. Rusty, the technology is within this computer core to have an intelligent computer system on board this ship. The software is all uploaded at the moment. You've got the basic package. We didn't want to presume what sort of AI you want, so you will just get your standard computerized AI. It can answer very simple requests and can access the data files as is requested by its crew.
And is it has it been encoded to protect the life of the crew?
It is encoded to protect the life. It will be encoded to protect the life of its crew. At the moment, it doesn't have a crew, and so At the moment it is not, but that is a core part of any AI program such as this. Could 3 of you all roll a spot check for me?
Did you not come in?
No, no.
19.
16.
19, 16.
Oh wait.
Yeah, 19.
There's a spot check.
Yeah.
-1.
You see, you are just enthralled by these computer systems. Admiral Marcus Finch is engrossed in conversation with you. What you two notice is that only 5 of you plus the Admiral are currently in the room.
Who's missing?
The missing person is Callahan.
He's gone. Well played. Know exactly where he's gone.
And I will ask you if you are looking for anything specific in the first place you go.
No.
Okay, cool. What you see is it's just a set of computers that calibrate the system, and then presumably you head.
I basically he doesn't need the details. He just wants to
that's
go
fine.
because of what's potentially
Yeah.
what he's potentially got coming to him.
Yeah.
He needs, like I said earlier, he needs to know his own skin is safe.
Yeah.
So he needs. To
Do you want to look at the systems that you've chosen in particular detail?
I guess for those, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that require a roll?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It will require a roll. So if you could roll an engineering check.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm guessing that went well.
23.
23. What you find on the system, because it's all open to you,
Yeah.
you find that.
Ooh. Yeah.
The rest of you, the Admiral is still talking about the computer console, and when he finishes that, he says, "Now, if you come with me, and I shall show you the most impressive part of this demo." And he leads you across to this door here.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
Where's the other fellow?
What of the fellow?
I'm gonna look around it here in a second.
Callahan's missing.
Well, it's not necessarily, it's not a strictly guided tour. He's more than welcome to have a look at his own pace. While I generally suggest that it would be better to have stayed together, he is of course a free man, so he can look around as he sees fit. I see no reason to.
I wouldn't trust him.
this coming from you.
You diplomacy check.
Boys, I wouldn't worry. We're aboard this ship. It's not our ship just yet. There's only so much you can do.
12.
The Admiral rolled a natural 1. Well, I suppose.
I'm sorry to say, are you really going to take the word of an alien who's known, their race is known as troublemakers, over someone who flew, that captained the garrison to get here, got us out of a really nasty situation, and who you spoke to during the garrison's escape? Someone who wasn't even on the crew when you knew us before.
Diplomacy check.
Oh, fuck it. Ha! That'll be a 9.
2 natural 1s in a row for the Admiral. You know what? That's actually a very fair point. No, ex-Captain Callahan, whatever else I may feel about members of your crew, he has done nothing that suggests I should mistrust him. And as a member of the military myself, I'm sure it doesn't take a massive leap of imagination from yourself to understand why I would side with a member of my own race in this.
Fine. I think you trust him instead.
As a matter of fact, I do. I mean, it was a flimsy defence, but
I think the only thing that matters is the Admiral here. He wants us to do this job, whatever the hell it is. In real terms. I'm
Yes.
sure he's gonna make sure none of us fuck it up for him.
well, I would hope that to use the modern parlance, I hope that none of you would try and fuck it up. I cannot remind you just how quite important this could be to not just humanity, but it looks pointed at you, the stability of the entire quadrant of space. Now, if you would mind following me. Oh, yes, of course.
How far up is the bridge?
The bridge is 2 further levels up.
I think I will leave you to look through the Grease Monkeys area. I want to go and get myself acquainted with the controls for piloting.
Certainly, if you take the lift, which is just round the corner, and go to deck 1.
Okay, thank you very much.
He then leads you and everyone else to this door here, and he says, now, before you enter here, I must please ask you to put on these. And he motions to a little cabinet here, which has a number. It has 20 on what you can guess as a count suits. They're very much like hazmat suits, but they look a bit more like a hazmat suit crossed with a spacesuit. No, you probably wouldn't. And he says to you, presume Layla, Terry, and Scope all put one on. Presumably you.
Why are you asking me?
Well, you're there.
Oh, yeah, I'll put one on.
You're put one on. And and he leads you in. Now you are standing on a gantry. What you see from this gantry is a massive open space. When you look to your left, you see the gantry follows on around here. The white marks on this map are instead of the gantry. For YouTube, you are looking at the edges of this map. And at this end, you see what looks like a wall of huge fans. These fans are about 100 metres across each, and there are 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you see underneath you, if you look, is you see lots of little packages. Before I go any further, for you guys and for YouTube, what I'm about to say is genuine theoretical quantum physics.
Yeah!
I do not pretend to fully understand it. Please check the link in the description to read the scientific literature on this.
Here's the science bit.
Here is the genuine science bit. Gentlemen, you are now standing inside the quantum combustion chamber. What you see in these little packages, and the reason you're wearing your suits, is that you are now in a vacuum. The vacuum is required because this ship is powered by the Casimir effect. Any physicists, I'm so sorry. What you are looking at is 1,000,000 pairs of tiny metallic plates grouped together. They are less than an atom's width apart. Please God, make sure I've got these notes right. The Casimir effect means that each pair of unmagnetized metal plates extracts momentum from an electromagnetic zero-point fluctuation in the vacuum. That creates propulsion simply using the electrical output of the power cells, which he points to the wall. You don't see any specific battery, it's just that you suspect that the whole wall is the power cell. You require no combustible fuel. All this is then put through the heat vents at the back, which takes out any excess heat, which keeps the metal from degrading or melting, and this propels your ship. We've attached a hyperdrive at the front, which accelerates the quantum.
Combustion chamber.
This is where things get crazy.
So the animals are physicists like that.
I let me just check my notes.
All those little data pad.
There are a million pairs in each chamber, so there are 2 million working pairs of Casimir drives here, and they are what propel your ship forwards. The amount of force generated is enough to push you into hyperspace. The hyperspace drives simply enhance that ability.
Should I roll a science check to see if Rusty understands that?
Yeah, go on.
To be like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go
That's
on.
brilliant.
Yeah, give it a roll.
coward.
What did you get?
Oh no, I haven't put my bonus in there because I get a +3 to my intelligence. That's an 8.
An 8. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like I said, please do go and double check the link in the description below to
exactly how
the
I
page. I am not a physicist, but that kind of makes sense, I think.
Magic.
Basically,
I'm done for.
you don't need fuel,
Yeah.
is what you take from it with an 8. You don't need fuel.
I get the basic kind of premise of it.
You get the
like
premise of it.
when you force magnets together.
I should point out, this is actual science that NASA is testing right now. They tested it in 2013, it actually does work.
Are they sort of in a sort of corkscrew?
No. They're lots of. They're literally very small plates that are an atom's width apart.
You're telling me that NASA have taken the front of a fan?
They haven't. NASA haven't done this.
It's creating a jet.
a little bit bigger as well.
It's creating a jet without air.
That's a spaceship.
Okay, here we go. This is me trying to explain. This is me trying to explain theoretical quantum physics, which I don't understand. When you pass a mirror through space, in normal physics it doesn't do this, but in quantum physics, when it reaches the same speed as the protons, the proton splits, creating the physical proton and what they call a virtual proton. These virtual protons react with the mirror, which creates what they call the Casimir effect, which is a quantum reaction which creates a small amount of thrust. We're talking 10 to 30 newtons.
So it's got an output of force.
But it has an output of force.
And
when you have a lot of them together, i.e. 1 million and 1 million, 2 million working in sync,
also
you get
powered by a
you're talking 60 million newtons, which can get you up to, in my sci-fi game, 75 light years an hour when you're going in hyperdrive.
So really, really, really big elastic band.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll go with that. That's a good way of explaining it.
That makes it go.
These make move.
That's going to be a real gear.
That might as well be
When
spoken
one of those
for,
things
anyway.
break, you've got to go through all those millions
Yeah.
broke it like
Yeah.
no.
But they have to be in a vacuum to work. And this is where the Admiral
We have
says,
to go on us.
yeah, the Admiral then turns to you and says, if the vacuum seal of this door is broken, or of these walls is broken, the effect will not take place, and so you cannot move at the speeds we intend. You will still have your hyperdrive, and you will have manoeuvring thrusters, which we'll come to in a second. And if you can make this place hot, you can use pure heat to move you, but you will not be moving it anywhere near the same speeds.
I'm glad you clarified what type of vacuum it was. So I was like, you're going to need a pretty big Henry to fit all that.
Go with dice, mate.
Honestly, you have no idea how much my head hurt researching the stuff for this
No,
episode.
fair play to you, man.
He then says,
Legit.
and speaking of the manoeuvring thrusters, if you follow me this way, he leads you to a massive pair of doors here, which open into what looks like the bridge of a spaceship.
And what was the power cells on that thing? How
The
big
power
are
cells, they are unmagnetized metal. Each of the million packs contains 2 of these plates that are atoms with
like
parts.
these.
Oh, the power cell. That is your standard.
It's just a big nuke.
Yeah, basically, it's a big nuclear-powered drive. It takes the energy from space, converts it into nuclear energy. More sci-fi stuff, which theoretically makes the ship capable of powering itself forever. However, any crack on either of those sides, you will get a massive leakage, and you will have to repair it before you can even.
Carry on.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm playing with Marc, Alden, Taylor. Love it. Leakage, massive leakage.
Oh,
Probably
exactly.
green.
I was laughing at leakage.
I was having a crack.
So we're laughing at crack and leakage.
So once we take command of this ship, I'd really appreciate it if you could put me in touch with some of your engineers so I can help to make sure that any vulnerabilities on those batteries.
All the schematics are within the ship's database.
Thank you very much.
You can access them once you have a chief engineer who has the codes, or has inputted the codes. He then leads you to here, which is, he says, welcome gentlemen to the secondary bridge. This bridge is to be used in emergencies only. The only person that can activate this bridge is the captain of the ship. It can be activated from 2 places: this bridge or the main bridge on deck 1. This bridge comes into play when you decide to separate the saucer section from the engineering section. There are advantages to this. The engineering section will be a lot quicker because it will not have the weight of the saucer section, but the engineering section has only one weapon, that is the diffuser, which is located underneath. The saucer section will have limited engine capacity, but it will have hugely advanced weaponry. I would recommend, as an admiral from military training, I recommend that this is kept to emergency situations only, but I will of course brief your captain on that fully once you have decided who your captain is. And what you see on this bridge, it's a fairly functioning bridge. You see what you'd expect to see on a starship bridge. You see a chair for whoever is in charge of it. You see a tactical station. You see, you don't see a weapons station because it's only got that one weapon. You basically see a big button on the tactical station. And you see a very basic engineering section. I'm going to take a quick break because I'm desperate for the loo because I've been drinking far too much alcohol. But what the Admiral does is, provide there are no questions from anyone on this.
Sorry.
That's fine. He then leads you to the lift and takes you up to the next level, which we'll come to in just a second, YouTube. So we now come to the second level of the SS Erebus. You guys exit through a lift here, which for YouTube, is there on the map. You exit through a lift here. We'll come to you very briefly. So you have. Let me just read your note. Yep. You will then move to an area here which is labelled quite clearly crew quarters, and you can choose your room, sir.
Where's the captain's?
The captain has his own separate quarters.
Yeah, where is it?
It's labelled captain quarters on the map. It's 1 to number 1 to 30 odd, I think. Let me take your pick of bunk.
So, what was that? Number 20.
Okay, so you accept bunk 20.
Yeah.
What you find is it's not drawn particularly well. It's not necessarily a tiny one. What you find is a room probably about the width of this room, but about 50% longer.
Yeah.
Has a fairly standard bunk. The bunk is behind a sort of translucent
screen
plasticky screen, so you've got a bit of privacy. You have a wash basin with water, no vibe showers. You have proper water on this ship.
Wow.
As long as it's got a window to see out of or something.
Yeah, there is a small porthole looking out of space. And just so you guys know, this is pretty much a set description of all the crew quarters.
It's a good room.
Have a screen on the wall to make it look.
TV
yes,
outside. Change it to the
so and then there's also there's a tiny little mini fridge that you can keep supplies and stuff like that, and a wardrobe. Basically, think have you ever been on a submarine or a ship or something like that? On one of the
cabin.
Think of a typical cabin on a typical ship. So that's what you found. And presumably you just relax.
I take my boots off from my bunk and start put my personal effects there.
Wonderful. Could you roll a listen check for me?
Probably here's the Alden going. Okay, no questions.
A 10. No, you hear the gentle hum of the ship. We'll come to you next.
Yeah.
Could you two roll a spot
Probably
check?
not, because I'm
Oh, yeah, you got it. Could you roll a spot check? 5. Yep, nothing. What you see when you reach the location you're going for is you see a room that is probably about twice the size of the dressing room at work, so quite a large space. You see a double bed.
You got to the captain's quarters, haven't you?
You see a double bed, again behind a screen, bedside table on each, a nice large window looking, where is it on the ship? You are looking sort of, not quite backwards, but sort of out into the side a little bit. So you can just about see one of the ends of Bartholomew's dock, Bartholomew's port. You also see a small workstation desk, which is at the moment inactive. And you also see on that desk, you see there is a palm shape in the desk. and again, the same typical things like basically the same as what he saw, but just doubled in size.
Yeah.
So instead of a one
So
door
there's
wardrobe,
nothing else there.
no, there's nothing there because this ship at the moment doesn't have an occupant for this room.
Okay, so at this like work desk, is there a chair?
There is a chair next to it. Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to sit myself down in the chair with my legs on the desk and just have a ponder.
Okay, cool. He then takes you on a tour of the ship. If you take
It's
a
just
moment,
you now. Everyone else is left.
well, no, he's also with
Yeah.
Terry and Scope and Layla. If you take a couple of moments to have a look at what you want to look at, we shall come to Ash, who is on the bridge, which looks like this. It's, you'll see it in the you'll see it across from me over there. And what you see on the bridge. Actually, David, could I have your pad, please? Can I have your drawing pad?
Oh, sick! Really?
Down here, yeah.
It's not finished.
This is an unfinished version of what Ash sees, but Ash sees this. I should put it on a proper picture as well, in the current location. David has drawn
A picture.
his interpretation.
I drew all the lines myself, so I can't go outside of it.
David has drawn his artistic interpretation of the bridge, and that is basically what you see.
Cool.
So you see, you come in, this is the view you see when you come in. You see the captain's chair here. You see over there, you see a door to, that would be...
It's not really there, is it?
well, no, but it will work for this.
Yeah.
That would be to
Escape pod?
the meeting quarters.
Yeah.
There's another door over here which leads to the captain's personal office. Again,
That's just a locker.
these are all labelled. Down here you see that is the tactical...
That's the navigation.
No, that's the science officer's
Science.
station here. You see the weapons here, which David has labelled with pew pew. And here, of course, you see the view screen and the pilot's seat. What you see in terms of the actual state of the room, it's a very clean, well-kept, well-maintained bridge. Where the garrison, as much as the garrison was a dark ship, that had obviously its problems. Obviously, it was damaged when you guys picked it up.
The lever on the
This is Star Trek. This is Alien Resurrection.
Think that sort of difference.
Yeah.
This is very much the Enterprise versus the Nostromo. Thank you, Red Dwarf. The Nostromo.
Yeah.
So this is very bright. The view screen is currently, it has Harold's Port on it, but you don't suspect that you are pointing at Harold's Port. The view screen is not. It's not a plexiglass thing. It's a view screen. There's a camera on the front on the ship that is pointing specifically at, which is down here.
A little holographic display.
Yes. There is also the holographic display, which sort of shows the 3D space around the ship to a certain distance. So, is there anything you wish to do on the bridge?
I'm just kind of explore it a little.
Yeah.
Look around. Look at the captain's chair.
Yep.
Think about sitting down. Consider sitting down. Go back at, sort of one hand across it.
Yeah.
And walk over to the pilot's chair. Nod a little bit, sit down there. Is there a nice plug-in jack for me?
Yep.
So we're all
Sweet.
sitting in our natural place.
Yeah. Could you now also roll a listen check for me?
Yeah. Jesus. Yes, I can. That would be a 23.
Okay. You very faintly hear a soft, beautiful, piercing melody floating through the air. It doesn't sound close. It sounds sort of that sort of thing.
Which is soft and beautiful.
Yeah, alright. I'm not a soft and beautiful singer.
And suddenly the captain's chamber ejects into space with...
it's a lone voice, and you feel not quite compelled to find where it
a
is,
little bit drawn towards it, a little bit
but
interested.
it's a very interesting and enticing sound.
I guess we're going to look for it. I'll pat the pilot's chair.
Yeah.
I'll start back for you.
Okay. If you could roll a spot check for me.
Okay. That'll be a 20.
20. You look around the bridge, and just in the corner of your eye, just for a split second, you think you see the figure of a woman. As soon as you register it, as soon as your brain goes, wait, there's something there, the noise stops and it goes.
Okay. Is there a comm system? I mean,
you're on the bridge. There will be a comm system. It will be on. Every station there has a comm system.
well, I'll go and sit in the pilot's chair.
Yeah.
Plug myself in.
How does it feel?
Comfy. Better seat. It's got some more.
It is a better seat.
I'm
Yeah.
sitting into it. And it's like, oh, that's quite nice.
It's one of those chairs that kind of
memory
molds.
foam
Yeah, molds around me.
Yeah.
So like my bum feels good. I'm imagining it a little bit. And this could just be my imagination of this. A little bit less Enterprise, a little bit more Mass Effect. You know, Joker when he sits in the chair for the Mass Effect games. The pilot,
Yeah.
his legs are up in front of him.
Yes.
He's actually kind of got pedals for it as
Yeah.
well, which controls other parts of it. And so it's a full sort of immersive rig sort of situation. He sat down into this nice immersive rig, plugged himself in, plug into as many of the cameras around the ship as I can.
Yeah, that's cool.
Get views of all of the rooms.
Yeah.
To try and figure out where this woman went, and then over the comm system, send a message and alert out to everyone else about what I just saw. And was there the security cameras in the rooms, right?
Yep.
So if I plugged in, can I check the logs to see if she appeared on the log?
You can have a look. Yes. If you could roll, because you'll be spooling through. If you can roll a search check for me. Bloody hell.
So sorry, guys.
You are on a roll tonight.
I just farted horribly. That's an 18.
An 18, yeah, you spool through and you see there is there is a camera sort of pointing from roughly where actually the Davis picture is, sort of looking over the bridge, and you see just for a tiny split second behind the tactical desk there is a figure. It's nondescript,
But there was a figure.
but there is a figure there. So it looks like a distortion in the thing, but it's definitely, you definitely make it out as a figure.
In that case, I would relay that image to all of the areas where people are. So, like to the screens in his cabin, the screen in the captain's cabin, the screen where these guys all are, and inform everyone of what I saw sort of over the comm system.
Yeah. By the way, when you did look, you did see him in the captain's cabin. You saw him in his own cabin. You saw these guys wandering over there, which we'll come to in a second. So you did have full access to the ship systems. We shall now come. So what's the actual message you relay?
To inform everyone, I have arrived on the bridge, and I'm not sure if there's a leak in our fuel cells or anything along those lines, because I seem to have a strange hallucination. But it was caught on camera as well. There was a strange sound, like an almost angelic singing sound, and a figure of a woman walking through the room. I'm relaying the video footage to each of your room, or each of the rooms you're in, and away the nearest screens. And as for your grey skin, get your feet off those desks. Those belong to the captain, not to you.
If you could roll, we'll go with intimidation check on that one. And if you could oppose the intimidation check.
13.
17.
You take your feet off the desk.
I take my feet off my desk and I just sit
Off the
there.
desk?
Off the desk.
The desk, not your desk.
I just say to
Off
myself,
my desk.
I just say to myself, pussy, scared of a girl.
And I've heard that, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, you'd have heard that. You'd have heard that.
Pussy scared of a disembodied voice.
Oh, you two could be beautiful together. So just to fully relate to you guys what you all saw on your screens. You saw it on the captain's desk.
How would he have heard what I said?
It was a
An
comm
open
system. Yeah.
But only you would. What's it like?
It's an open communication system.
Normally you are correct, but because it was hilarious, I'm letting it fly. What? It didn't affect the game. There was no roll.
No, it has affected the game.
No, you know what? For the first time,
It's
fucking my game, bitches. My game. So you see it on the screen on the captain's desk. You see it on the screen in your room. What room were you going to look at specifically?
We were going to be in the quantum port.
In the quantum port. Okay.
But like we've seen that probably on the way.
This is
like in one of the
No, there's a screen in the quantum port. There's a desk in the quantum port. What the quantum port is, to explain to you while you're there, because Marc Finch would have explained this before. Actually, the quantum port is, and again this is real science, YouTube. The quantum port is this ship's version of the teleport system. Quantum teleportation is actually physically possible at the moment. What they do is they scan a proton, and then they create an exact replica of the proton somewhere else, and the original proton disappears. That is what the quantum port does. When you stand on one of the ports, a duplicate, a perfect duplicate is made of you, and teleported to wherever the coordinates are. The
original one dies.
The body on the port disappears and reappears wherever it has been sent. Admiral Marcus Finch relays all this.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, there are potential. Then on the screen, Admiral Marcus Finch gets the message from Ash, and he rolled a very high intelligence roll, and says, in that case, he leans over to the suit and says, as Admiral, I will very rarely ever do this, but I must call rank and suggest that we all immediately leave the Erebus. We shall come back at a later date. This is a problem that needs to be sorted immediately. Admiral Finch out. And he immediately marshals you guys towards the lift.
You sure, Admiral?
Not like.
You sure, Admiral? As I'm sure you've been aware, these guys, they haven't got any boundaries to what they'll do to be kids to each other. Do you really buy it? Or do you reckon they're just trying to fuck with this ship?
Can I roll diplomacy?
No point, he saw the footage. He saw the footage. This is not one you can diplomacy your way out of. He says to you and says, look, I know exactly what Mr. Bishop saw in that image. And it is not something you want to be on a ship with. If we can lure it off this ship, we can maybe find it. I want to talk to Captain Inderhut, and I would like you and the rest of this crew, in inverted commas, to come with me.
Very well, as you say.
So he leads you. He then leans back into the port and says, was my previous message received by all ex-garrison crew members?
Yep.
And there is silence, that's fine. Not a problem. I'm presuming Jim, while on his phone, presuming that silence was deliberate from you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was deliberate from all three of us.
Not a problem, so he takes you off.
Has he got like a portable communications thing?
He does have a portable communications.
What's it?
Admiral, you sure everyone's got your message? We need to get them to the shuttle bay if we gotta get out this way.
The message was received. They are not my crew. One of the things I promised you is you would not be under the control of the ISB. If they wish to stay on board this ship, that is their own funeral. What about you, Mr. Rusty? Are you coming?
Well, if you say it's gonna kill us, I'm not gonna. If it's gonna cause us any harm, I'm infatuated with this fine vessel that you brought us to. Any kinks, we gotta get them out. I'm happy to help you get them out of the system.
Very brave of you. If you could roll now, if you could roll a diplomacy check.
What, legit?
Legit. You can roll a diplomacy check.
Nope.
What did you roll? Yeah, he did beat you. He says that is absolutely fine. If you wish to stay, that's not a problem.
No, I mean I'm doing what you're saying.
Oh, you're following me.
Yeah.
In that case, if you would follow me, Mr. Rusty, we shall make our way back to back to the port, and we shall speak to Captain Inderhut. You can enjoy yourself for the next while.
Huh?
Is there anything you want to do while you're back on the port?
Oh, we're not meant like I'm just.
You want? There's nothing to do with meant. I'm just asking you if there's anything you want to do while you're back on the port.
I wanna solve the mystery.
be us three first.
Then,
We will.
then if Rusty would like to solve this mystery, what do you think Rusty would do?
Oh, I can't take this. I can't really take it back. Sorry, I don't. I'm a bit of a noob. Sorry. What do you reckon? Can we call an audible? I just want to join in.
Audible.
Why
not? I mean,
I thought going with we'd get to kill the space monster.
As a DM, as a DM, I'll remind you that 3 people have separated from the party already.
I think I would say what Rusty would say is,
Admiral, we get. I'd happily come with you, but they may not be your crew. I'm not saying they're mine, but they're the only crew I know. We gotta. If there's something on here that's gonna be killing these guys before we even set off, I'm not leaving until we all go at the same time.
Diplomacy check.
that's a 9.
The Admiral looks at you and goes, very well, I admire your compassion. You rolled a 3.
It's not compassion, Admiral. It's just what's right.
Was there any info from the Admiral on my question earlier?
You fool, note up on note.
Rusty's going to remember that the ISB would happily leave.
Oh, God! Yes, he did give you an answer. He said it is a gun that belonged to General Takashi. It was the last ever gun that was used in a all-bullet battle on Earth. At this point, but anyway, going back to the present, the Admiral turns to you and says, very well, I shall speak to Captain Linderhood.
How about one of these shuttles? I know Chatterbox will be able to fly this thing. If you're
yeah, he means you.
If you're happy to give me if you're happy to give me access to one of these shuttles, I'll be able to get us back.
It's so difficult to play a game where there's no conversation.
Just to clarify, you're offering.
So I'm saying, if you allow me to open a shuttle, we can try. There's a pilot. Like, if I can get him on it, but I can open the door to the ship with the Admiral's permission, because we don't own any of this yet. So like.
Oh, so you're offering to... Hold on, let me just get my head right. You're offering to fly the Admiral back, or...
No.
Give him the
so
shuttle?
when we're all together,
yeah.
If my intention is to get us all off the ship.
He's saying I can fly us out if needs be. If he can have...
Can I have access to a shuttle so he can fly us out if I...
As far as the Admiral is concerned, the fact that you have come on board of the ship and not said no up to this point, it is a case of saving lives. But he does turn to you and say, actually, if you could roll a diplomacy check for me.
Oh, that's more like it! 19?
19. He says, since you are not registered, you'll have to use my registry codes upon this ship, but given that you are being extremely brave in the face of something truly awful,
I can assure you, Captain, I won't try anything stupid. I haven't got any...
I will ensure that one shuttle is available. It can carry...
You can't carry all of this, someone's going to have to stay behind to die!
I need to double check that!
It's not the same as the one we came on.
What do you think he's going back to?
Oh,
You're an armed alien.
I thought they were all the same.
Actually, I was going to vote on the
I
lady.
thought they'd all be like the exact same model.
No, the shuttles you saw was small, I should have mentioned that. He says, one shuttle can carry 3 people.
It's going to be 1 or 2 trips. We're not
Is that including the pilot of that shuttle?
That is including the pilot of that shuttle. 1 and 2. They're tiny little things.
How far from here to
On those shuttles is a 5 to 10 minute journey depending on their pilot skill. Why is he American? On your pilot skill.
Got some fucking good pilots.
The guy in the suit is pressurized.
So what did you say?
The guy in the suit, his suit's pressurized. You think he could make it? On the outside?
No. I don't believe he could. I don't know exactly what that suit does. Remember that space is minus 262 degrees. His planet is only minus 100 degrees.
Is that what?
Yeah. It's a bit risky.
Okay, everybody.
I will leave one shuttle
Very well.
for you to escape. However, I shall endeavour to return as quickly as I may. It will be a 10-minute journey. 5 minutes there, 5 minutes back. Allow 5 minutes for me to talk to Captain Inderhut. You have 15 minutes.
Whoop. You've got 10. I'll be back.
You just threaten him.
I'm gonna go with a diplomacy check on that.
Yeah. That was like not be a nasty one, like sort of like try and get it.
Yeah, you can't really get away with things like that. I found out in the last game.
He goes, 10 it is. Godspeed. At which point he... oh, hold on. I need to do a quick...
With the guards with all the game. Roll intimidate. I'm not intimidated.
He and Layla get into the lift. Scope and 5, or Terry, remain with you.
Let's go, guys.
While this is going on,
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't like her.
I would like to go and collect,
Mhm.
shock everyone, collect him,
Yes.
and go together to collect him.
Him? Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Because he is, if we're going to be in something that could be a fight, he is known for fight. His race is known for fighting.
However, he is now unarmed.
Not a pistol.
Yeah, with no bullets.
Oh, has he got any bullets?
No.
Oh, in fact, I don't even know he's got a gun. So
No.
I'll just collect him.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I'll tell him that he's in. I'll inform you where he is. We can decide together.
Anybody have? Where's my phone? Because this mission's on my phone. Because I didn't get a chance to write it up.
Sorry.
Nice, this is going to be sick. Like, it wasn't too metal, was it? Kind of like...
What?
Because you have all seen the picture.
I wanted to join in the adventure, basically.
How are you? You have all seen the picture. So... Actually, before you leave the bridge...
Okay.
Could you please roll a... what's the DC? Could you please roll a spot check for me?
Probably not on this one. 13.
Nope, you don't find anything of interest.
Cool.
But given that you have all seen the image, if you could all... Does anybody have knowledge nature? Or...
What about religion or planes?
No, they won't come into it. Or I will give you... Does anyone have a knowledge nature? I should, since the other two have stayed, I should check their knowledges as well.
Got handle life form.
Scope may have it.
Yeah.
Scope does indeed have it.
Yeah, scope. Just can't handle even ghosts. Can I roll?
He doesn't make it. What you get on you get a message from Scope saying, I think I recognise this, but I'm not 100% certain. I need more evidence. But I think the Admiral might be right. This is something that is worthy of our attention and our caution.
Well, it's a shame the Admiral failed to mention what it was exactly we're dealing with. It seems though he knows so much about it.
It's a shame that no one asked him what was going on.
Too busy in my quarters.
You sounded pretty scared, man.
Open yourself up.
Yeah, it did.
Was that overall channels?
Yeah, that was a shipwide thing. Now, at this point, you are about to leave the bridge, and the rest of you are all
I said
on...
I left the bridge while he was still.
Yeah,
he was
so
in communication.
you are all on the second level. So this is the map we need to look at.
So the retrieval crew have gone up.
The retrieval crew have gone down to deck 3, which is where the shuttle bay is, and they are at this moment currently boarding the ship. So,
Which consists of
Admiral. Oh, one person I didn't roll for. Yeah, the Admiral. Fuck you.
Sorry.
Admiral Finch, Layla, and the Kik Lo'Bahl priest are on the shuttle, leaving to go back to Bartholomew's port to speak to Captain Inderhut.
They haven't left yet then?
They are in the shuttle bay imminently leaving.
So someone could still radio and ask him what the hell it is?
Yep. The shuttle has communication capabilities. You could, if someone wants to radio him now, is probably the time to ask.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really hear the conversation talking about how terrifying it was. He just told us to leave.
Yeah.
So the only people who've heard it are Scope, Terry,
And him.
Would Scope or Terry not have maybe? Who's intelligent? Who's got intelligence?
No, but
Those two.
That's a shit.
I think
massive
no, it's
issue.
not necessarily intelligence. Like you might have, at least the way I'm justifying not having asked him is that he's the admiral. The admiral. I'm guessing he's seen a lot of shit. He's scared shitless and wants off the ship. I don't know this shit.
Unfortunately, neither of them take the option to speak.
It scared you enough to tell
Judging
us.
by dice rolls.
Like, I think we better go.
Neither of them think of asking, but he is Bartholomew's dock is well within communication range, so should you at any point wish to ask, the option is there. I should say that silence is a no. Right, so we shall take a short break in a second before we continue with this mystery. But to clarify, you are in quarters 20, which is right on the bottom here.
That's correct.
You are currently in the lift, you're around about here. You are in the captain's quarters, which are there. You are in the quantum port, which is up here, along with Scope and Terry and the Ghost.
Can I? Because we've got comms, right?
You've got comms, yep.
I would just say over comms. Can I recommend we just keep the comms open, just to keep as much communication with each other as we can. Last experience with a phantom figure wasn't exactly the nicest time for all of us. It was close call. I think communication is going to be our best bet at this moment.
Where are you hailing us from?
I've just stepped off the lift and I'm going to go and meet up with Callahan at his quarters.
Okay. Stay there. Don't use these comms.
Don't use the comms.
Yeah, because we're going to come and speak to you face to face.
I'm going. I'm already
coming.
walking.
Okay,
You have to
we'll
come
try and catch up.
Yeah.
Can I do a run check to try and catch up to him? Or something?
You're here.
Yeah.
He's there heading into here. So the computer interface console will block you ever so slightly. You can try.
He said he's going to the crew quarters, so we'll just head to
No, he said he's going to find Callahan.
Oh, okay.
He didn't say where Callahan
I thought he
was.
said the weird quarters.
No, he said I'm going to. I believe he said.
I said I was going to go collect Callahan.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
I mean,
we'll go meet Callahan. Sort of.
you could roll.
We'll just go stand by. I'll just go stand by the lift.
Okay, that's probably fair.
Wait.
And we shall come back to discover this mystery in the final part of this episode. So, I don't know what video I'm going to put in here, but enjoy it and we shall see you in a second.
In 4389, a dedicated group of Interstellar Bureau scientists and explorers, calling themselves the Historians, began planning an expedition back to the Sol system to discover what remained of humanity's ancient home and to chart the area to protect space travellers who might wander in unintentionally. Their ship left on June the 1st of the same year and sent weekly reports back to the Bureau. It took them 3 months to reach the edge of the nebula, where they reported huge fragments of rock and an immensely thick dust cloud floating in the vacuum of space. They proceeded cautiously into the nebula, and radio contact became infrequent and sketchy. Then, on the 27th of October 4389, a transmission was received. It was greatly fragmented and difficult to fully interpret, but it was clear that the ship was in a huge amount of difficulty. They reported being struck on the hull by a huge fragment of rock that appeared out of the dust. Their engines were dead and life support was quickly failing. They sent through their final report, but as it was uploading, a new silhouette appeared on their scanners. Whatever it was huge, at least 10 kilometers across and moving quickly. The ship's captain, Morgan Harris, ordered all crew members to the life pods. The silhouette appeared to be on collision course and approaching at ramming speed. Before the life pods could launch, it fired what appeared to be an EMP at the ship and knocked out all but its most basic systems. The final words of the message were, "There's an energy spike. This is it!" Fear the Black Sun.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed whatever little thing I put in there. It'll probably be some lore, so I hope you have more knowledge. We're jumping straight back into it because we are on a little bit of a time constraint because these guys have things to do. So I don't want to keep them any longer than I have to.
In other words, anything other than this.
That's how Jim's been with the whole session.
So I feel like you as well, Grace.
You have... are you trying to make him... Are you happy for him to find you? Would you relay your position to him?
He knows
so
my
exactly
door
where to go.
open properly with computers.
So you go and you are outside the quarters. You've pressed the button to let yourself in. Do you let him?
Oh, no, I'm knocking it.
Okay, you're
I'm
not
informing that I'm here, like, give them a chance to sort of...
Yeah, and they'll respond.
Let's press it to open that.
Open the door and you're together, you're facing each other.
You saw the village image? Everyone else seems to have run. You want to make a way to a shelter?
Easy.
Get up a bit.
I'm quite happy where I am at the moment.
Should we collect the others?
If they want to go, then yeah.
Oh, also meaning just safety in numbers.
Sure.
Other people to die before us.
The logic of this crew. Okay, so what's your next move then? Where do you go?
What's your current location, Rusty?
I'm by the turbo lift.
Shall we?
Let's go.
The aliens in the captain's quarters.
The five of you, you two, Rusty, Terry and Scope, all meet outside here by the crew quarters. What's your move?
Do I know what's going on with them?
You have heard all the communication apart from that last one because that was a personal communication between him and Rusty. So you know that there's something on this ship that has freaked out an admiral.
Okay,
You'd have heard that myself, Scope and Terry are heading to the lifts as well.
yeah, okay, I'll come out of the quarters, I'll poke my head around and then I'll just walk out.
Okay, wonderful. What I am going to ask now is if people who have their miniatures, if you haven't got them out already, don't panic. But if you do have your miniatures, if you can please put them on the map.
I am huge.
That's fine, I shall get one.
I am a giant.
Get one for you.
Thank you.
I don't have one, no.
You can be a dwarf.
I've got a spare one here.
Is it just 2 arms? Is it 2 arms?
So that's you. Presumably, so you're
Yeah,
there.
sorry.
He's in the captain's quarters. We shall use a couple of spare ones for there. The swordsman is going to be Scope, and the other dude is going to be Terry.
Am I the dwarf?
You are the dwarf. Yes. So, what is your next move?
When I come out, what can I see?
When you come out, you can see about 30 metres ahead of you. You can see Terry's robes fluttering. You can see sort of his ankles and legs.
I'll walk over to them.
Okay. Do you say anything? Do anything?
What's going on? I ain't got any idea, but the Admiral seemed pretty spooked. He's giving me access to one free man shuttle, but he said he'll be back in 10 minutes for transport for all of us to get our space fame. I highly recommend we follow what he says.
So 3 of us can leave and the rest stay here.
Yep. Right then. If that's the way you want to go, but well, if we can all get off here alive, then that'll be preferential, at least in my book.
I never said I was leaving.
Good.
I was just saying that 3 people can leave and the rest.
If anyone's leaving, who's got my gun?
If you could roll a diplomacy check, and if
3.
If you could roll against that, please.
I could. No, that's not my one. I don't know why I was about to pick your sheet up. I can happily say that no one's got your gun.
No.
21.
Yep, you can respond to that how you wish.
No one's got your gun.
Where's my gun gone?
There wasn't a gun.
I'm just gonna go.
Fuck's sake, take mine.
You're holding a.
No, you don't need that. Don't give
No,
away your
but-
weapon.
I've got a feeling I won't.
Just hold on to this. It's a piece of junk, but it'll hurt something if you shoot it. We'll talk about this.
Talk about
So I
what?
ask you now.
There's nothing.
How do I use
It's just it's a really basic laser shot.
laser
Someone
shot?
explain to me what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I'm already lost a little bit. So at this point, if you could all roll a spot check for me.
Fucking hell.
Marcus, have you got weights in the bottom of this?
Shape does.
Oh, put it back on what it was, not
Listen, was it?
Spot.
spot.
5.
5, 10, 15,
Did you?
19.
19.
No, sorry, 21.
21.
How long does it take me to, do something?
I mean, I'm gonna need a bit more detail than that.
You thinking like a round? Full round action?
A full round action to use those, yeah.
Then I will activate one of them for a full round action.
Okay, that's cool. So that takes you a full 6 seconds to do. Right. The people that see things are anyone who rolled a 15 and over.
That's us.
You, Scope, what did you get? 5, 10, and a 10 from Terry. What you see in front of the lift,
Which is there, right?
which is pretty much straight in front of you,
Right.
is a figure appears. And it is the most beautiful woman that you have ever seen. None of you have knowledge. Oh no! Scope spotted it and has knowledge nature. Since it is open, you don't have knowledge nature, do you? You don't have knowledge
I've
nature?
got loads of knowledges, but that's not one of them.
I
Okay.
go for more for personality than looks anyway. So.
That's fine.
She's not my type.
Scope has no further to add from what he said immediately. And what but this figure is genuinely the most beautiful woman you have ever seen in your entire life.
Share.
Sorry? What did you say?
Better than
I
share.
said sorry, like, I think you-
Better than share.
I thought she was great as a kid. Is that
Basically, whatever your character considers to be the most beautiful woman,
So, yeah.
she is 10 times that. She is phenomenally beautiful. And she looks at you and says, "It's a fine ship you've got here, gentlemen. Pity you'll never get a chance to fly it. Roll initiative!"
10 again.
I rolled a 2, but I've got a 1.
Where's my pad of paper gone, Jim? Can I possibly take it off you now? Because I'm going to need it.
Can I have a piece to stuff it this bit?
Should I have stuff in
Thank
there as well?
Yes, you should.
Actually, oh god.
Oh god!
Hey!
+2.
Just turn that.
And I will now swap to...
You know, like when people do that
Yeah.
wood, like a
Battle music.
What are you doing with Ray? If you're trying to set it up, like.
because I'm doing these tiger power strikes.
So we've got Callahan, Ash, Klutz, Rusty, Scope, Terry, and the creature. What do we all get?
12.
I rolled a 2, but I have a -1, so
So you rolled a what? What did you roll?
I got a 17.
17 from Ash.
20.
20 from Callahan. Let me just double check what the other two got.
The person nearest to it was a height.
So we've got that. Where the hell did I put Terry's character sheet?
On your left leg.
Quite correct.
I was spotted. You didn't even roll for that.
Didn't roll for that.
That. And it got... the first person to go is Callahan.
So this thing's standing right in front of me.
This thing is stood right in front of you.
Okay. Right. Big gun.
Yep.
The new big gun.
The new big gun. Okay. Yeah.
Seems
Cool.
though it's right in front of me.
Yep.
And we'll fire. Are we? I mean, because I know it's not a grid.
It's not a grid, no.
But how close am I in relation? Am I right in front?
You're within 5 foot of it. Yeah,
Okay, so
square away.
can I take a 5 foot step backwards?
Of course you can.
So I don't provoke an
Of course you
attack
can. Yeah,
opportunity.
that's fine.
And who is this, please?
That is Terry.
I can attack it. Right. will he be? I don't, because of scale. I don't know exactly. I don't think he would be in the.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll use for now, because I should have drawn a map for this. We'll use the galaxy map.
Well, as long as I know he's not in.
He's not in your way.
No. Okay.
No.
Just because of like.
Yeah.
The
of course. Yes.
Just because of the 40-foot cone.
He will be outside.
Oh
he will be outside.
Okay.
He's just outside of the cone.
Okay. Brilliant. I will then fire the square gun.
Okay. If you could roll an attack, please.
Which is 21.
21. You hit.
If
you could roll damage, please.
Okay. Which is a D. Sorry. It would have been a 20. What did I say? It was 21.
Yeah,
but it'd be more because it's a point blank range. So 8 plus point blank shot, so 9 points of damage. So you see. So basically, it looks like it kind of looks like a rectangular kind of metal module with a kind of handle on the top.
Yeah.
But also at the bottom, it looks like a kind of trigger, and it looks like we see is part of basically like a flare gun.
Nice.
On the front. So the trigger goes, and you hear like almost what you'd hear like on a rail gun, like a, but instead you hear a clatter of weird bits and pieces, and then spraying out in a 40-foot cone, you see some medals, you see some cutlery, you see
Is this all the shit you've been buying?
you see all sorts of bits and pieces just literally spray out in a burst.
It's a junk gun.
Kind of,
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's like you hear these things like pinging out, but it will like a scatter shot, like a blunderbuss, basically.
You've been waiting all game to put that out.
This hits this beautiful figure in front of you,
Yes.
and it nails them. Takes off straight through, fork sticking out of her forehead, sort of. And the moment she steps back after the hit, the image of this beautiful woman disappears entirely, and what you see standing before you is a creature that on the top half is still a beautiful humanoid, not human, and certainly not Vokoinitran, but a beautiful naked top half, and on the bottom half are the legs of what humans would describe as an eagle.
Okay.
At this point, oh, actually, no, it's not his go. You've taken your move, haven't you? Oh no, free.
It's counts as my movement.
Cool, wonderful. So, the next thing to go is the creature.
Oh shit.
And given that you have just blasted her in the face with a load of cutlery and various other
A
things,
sheriff's staff like sticking out of it.
I thought you were just a sentimental fuck. Just like going, oh, I like them.
Oh, yeah, well.
Sorry.
No, it's basically stuff that's just stuff from the last time I went to the shop, basically. And
Nice, just go and restock.
What
Like I
this
said, he's not a bad guy. It's quite sentimental.
What this creature does is it starts to sing directly at you.
Okay.
But it will also affect Terry, and it will affect... Whose model is that?
That's me.
It will affect you.
Will it?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
So if you two and Terry could please roll a will save.
Oh, yeah. Not my best. Well, actually, it's my worst side.
Alright.
Take that.
Hey!
20.
Yes, mate.
23.
Oh, yes.
And Terry survives as well.
Wow, fair play.
So what happens is what you hear is a song that in your head resonates, and for a split second this image of this sort of different creature disappears, and you see what you see. You all three of you see different things. You see, I can't remember her name, but you see someone very important that you have left behind.
Yes.
Oh shit.
You see an embodiment of Lex, and 5, Terry sees something particular to him. But within a split second, you manage to go, and it reverts back to
One of those. Top.
Caleb.
Carla.
Carla. You see Carla, you see Lex, and Terry sees someone else. And it's you sort of all see it and then go, blink your eyes, shake it off, and you are facing this creature again. And the creature then takes avoiding an attack from him because it's intelligent. 5, 10, 15, and it's on top of you.
Okay.
Again. The next person to go is Ash.
Oh, I'm going to try out my new pistol with a double shot.
Double shot, okie dokie. You can
And I'll be rolling with advantage.
roll. Yeah, but you will roll 2 dice for each one, so.
Okay. Okay, 16 and a 10.
The first one just about hits. The second one doesn't, so if you could roll damage for the 1, please.
Oh fuck, 3 damage.
All adds up.
Okie dokie, do you want to take a move or anything?
I can't.
Oh no, of course you can't, so that is your go. The next person to go is Klutz. You are currently
What can I do from
over here. You are within. What's your movement?
He has a
I'm assuming it'll be a 30.
It'll be a 30 foot. She is currently roughly 30-35 foot away from you. We'll say.
She moved 15 to get to.
range.
Oh, she moved 15 to get to that.
5, 10, 15, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can get next to her in a 30 foot movement.
I won't go right next to her, but I will
Okay.
go and stand right next to Terry over here, if that's alright.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll blast her with this. What is it?
Just a laser shotgun. It's
Laser
like,
shotgun.
it's like the sort of thing, you know, like in America, farmers' shotguns that they just have.
Yeah.
It's the space equivalent of that. Like you can buy one, probably black market for 50 quid.
Yep.
Like
18.
Wonderful.
whatever your stats are. I don't know if any of this affect it.
Don't know, what is it? What would it be?
Is it what's your attack bonus? Plus 1.
It'll be on his dex because it's a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be plus 3.
21.
21, you definitely hit him. So if you could roll damage for me. It's obviously going better than the last combat.
I've also got lucky as well.
You have to describe that beforehand.
And you don't need to use it.
You don't need to use it, you definitely
that doesn't happen every time?
No.
Right.
A lucky is 3 times a day.
Nowadays,
Or what? We've discussed it on another one. I shall remember it. But you don't need to use it.
is it a look roll thing, basically? You can use that.
Yeah, it's a bonus you get to use it.
Yeah, okay.
I think it is 3 times a day.
4. Okay, yeah. Since it's your weapon, do you want to describe what comes out of said weapon?
It's kind of from how Callahan described his sort of grip on the blunderbuss sort of weapon.
Yeah.
It's got a similar setup, except for it's kind of quite long, and the actual trigger of it is more like a pull rather than a squeeze. So you just go, and it takes. It's really good for recoil, basically, and just probably between. How much you hit? 4.
4. Yeah.
4 individual lasers just kind of shoot out in random spots, but hit her in random places.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, shotgun spread.
It is now Terry's go.
You've got to describe what this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Now Terry's go, so he's going to 5-foot step there. He's next to her. And he is going to attempt to punch this creature.
Oh, go on, Tez.
Fucking chinner, Tez. Fucking chinner.
He does indeed chin her. And he chins her for...
So if your feet, you have to call them before you use them.
It really
Depends on the
depends on the thing.
Oh really?
Depends on how the feet works.
So what we done? What can you use for? I don't know.
I think it's to add a bonus to your roll, or is it to be on?
Look roll basically gives you advantage.
You can roll advantage for one roll. I think from what I remember we discussed it as it's 3 times a day, or it's not once every
You roll 2
turn.
dice basically, and you then choose the best one.
You then choose the best
which
one.
is why I've got. That's why I'm rolling 2 dice.
But Terry hits her and she takes one to the jaw and goes, "Wah!" At this point, this thing is looking pissed but tired. And it is Scope's go.
Go on, Scope.
And he is going to... Let me just double check what he's got. Now, Scope is over here. He can just about see past...
Has he got a point blank shot? Because he's firing into combat.
I will have to double check that.
Precise shot.
Oh, precise shot, yeah, sorry.
I think he's got that now, I think.
He has point blank, not precise.
Precise.
So what he's going to do...
We should have drawn a bigger area of this, but this is where I expected this combat to happen. Because I'm that good.
He's going to take 5, 10. He's going to stand basically in this doorway. He can see past Matt.
He'll still be shooting into combat.
Yes. Now remind me exactly what that does. What's the
Minus
4
to attack.
Okay.
So it's basically like the enemy's got cover, basically.
Yeah.
Yes. So he is going to.
Unfortunately, we're all going to be on that because of monk in combat.
He's going to take his. What's he going to use? He's within. Yes, within range. So he's going to take out his silence pistol. And he is going to. So it's -4 for you into combat. And he takes a shot and it just whizzes past this thing. Which brings us to the currently unarmed...
I've got my hammer.
Well, I suppose, yeah. Brings us to Rusty, who is here.
How?
For you...
I'll just say, I'll just go.
For you,
I'm thinking, what?
It would be very much a reactionary thing, I think, for you. It's sort of like...
I just wanted to stop.
Yeah, you just think, do something. I'm going to do something. Stop this. What is the DC on that?
you mean for that level?
Yeah, what's the save?
12 for my first level spells.
Okay. Spell DC, is that just a dice roll, is that will or...
Depends what type of spell it is.
Who's casting what? Sorry.
Can I get a concentration bonus? Because
What level?
I'm not really used to doing this. First level spell.
So it's 10 plus the spell level plus service.
Yeah, so I've got
11. And then so 12 is the DC.
So what's the opposed on that?
It just has to be
roll
what
d20.
it needs.
What's the spell?
Yeah.
What spell is it?
sleep.
Because the spell that will be a will save then.
Will save. And you cast this, and the creature sort of goes, and then shakes it off.
Let's try now.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
Do you want to move? Because you are currently about 5, 10.
How does concentration
So
work?
about 30
Can I choose to concentrate for my next spell?
Concentrate is basically if you're in combat, you cast a spell, if someone hits you, you have to
Yeah.
concentrate, see if you lose a spell.
And you're about as far as combat as you
You
can
can't
be.
kind of enhance the spell.
So what do you want to do?
That's meta magic.
You've got a move or a delay. Still learning, YouTube. Still learning.
Yeah, I'm the last one in initiative, so there's no point in me delaying, so I'm just
Where are you going to move to?
nowhere.
You're going to stay where you are?
Yeah.
Okay. And we come back to
You're going to face the other way.
Mr. Callahan.
Okay.
This thing is right on top of you.
Okay. Can I take a 3 foot step next to? So
Yes.
I'm flanking with Jerry.
Yes, you can.
And because my gun's on this kind of big sling kind of thing,
Yeah.
I just punch basically.
With the butt of the gun?
No, with my fist.
Oh, with your fist. Okay, yeah, cool. If you could roll an attack for me.
Ooh, probably not. So 8, 9, 10 from flanking, 13.
13. You try, you have a swing,
Yeah.
but this creature just goes.
Okay.
She's watching you. And do you want to stay? Because you took a free 5 foot step.
Yeah,
you
that
want-
still catches your movement.
Cool. So that is your turn done, and it returns back to her. Now, bear in mind, you have already pinned her with one. Trying to go with this, she swings round on you,
Okay.
and she is going to. She lifts her arm, and
Does this invoke an attack of opportunity from...
It's only an attack.
no, because she's just turning. She's not moving. And you see
spell.
out of her, she brings these huge claws and swings down at you. So, what is your armor class, please?
It is 16.
She swings these at you, and you sort of. Let me double check what the plus is. Yeah. She swings at you, and you sort of. You see these things, you go. Oh! And you can hear these things sort of through the air.
Nice, okay.
So it would have hurt, you reckon?
Yeah.
And for
That's
her,
it.
She now. Ooh, you bastards.
Yeah, she just kind of, she could go, but she'll get nobody attacked.
Yeah, and she's intelligent. So what she does is she's now just going to stare you down. She looks deep into your eyes. And that brings us to Monsieur Bishop.
I'm standing next to Terry, right?
You are indeed, yes.
I'm just going to reach out and touch Terry. And my hand is going to glow slightly, and nanobots going to kind of spew out the hand.
Yeah.
And Terry is going to grow in size.
Okay.
So Terry has been enlarged for this round, so he's now a large creature.
Okie dokie.
Which will change his damage.
It will indeed.
Will that affect Sam shooting through crowds as well?
It will. It does now mean that that Scope cannot see the creature.
Yeah,
Full cover.
but he's got like strength bonus.
Yeah.
And like.
Do you make a move at all?
That's pretty much all I can do. That's
Cool.
the whole thing.
We now come back to
If I step forward, will I get a flanking bonus?
where you're looking to step to.
Totally thinking you were.
Jerry Glaswegian.
So you... That's smart. That's
You wouldn't get a flanking.
No, you won't get a flanking.
No,
you
I'll
will.
stay where I am.
Okay, that's cool.
And I'll just try and shoot with the laser again.
Okay.
-4.
-4.
You're shooting into combat.
Shooting into combat.
So 15.
So you would have added a 3 to that, so it's going to be a 14.
14. It's close, but it just sort of skims past. And she sort of looks over her shoulder at where the shot came from. But you do miss what... do you want to take a move?
No.
Okay, so you're going to stay where you are, which brings us to the now oversized Terry. Remind me exactly what your, in terms of strength, what that's done to him.
That's made him a large creature, so
Wonderful.
does it add a +2 when you enlarge?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like +6, I want to say. It's the strength.
Cool, I'm okay.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Let me double check the D&D 3.5 rule book.
Is it called enlarge
You're working
person?
tonight.
Enlarge.
Yes. Can you change your first level spell to enlarge person?
Is
So
that
it
what
becomes a large person.
is that what the spell is
Yeah,
called?
enlarge person. I'm pretty sure it's you're like quadruple in weight and double
Yeah.
in height, and it's like it's +4, 6 maybe.
Loses stuff to dex, doesn't he?
Yeah, you lose your armor class, it will go down.
Yeah, he's loses Dex arm class. But he's a monk as well, which means his damage becomes a large creature damage instead of. So it goes up, I think, I want to say to 2d6 at this level.
Enlarged person. Well, that didn't get me to where I wanted to go.
It'll only work for this round. After this round's gone,
Yeah, that's
he loses
fine.
it.
That's large weapon damage. I don't want large weapon damage. Come on, handbook. Fucking sort it.
Oh, yeah, the high level.
E-spells, enlarged person. Enlarged person. Instant growth of a human or creature, doubling its height and multiplying its weight by 8. The increased changes the cheap target gains +2 points size damage to strength, -2 penalty to dex, and a -1 penalty on attack rolls and AC due to its increased size.
Whoa, that's alright. You shouldn't get a -1 on attack.
Yeah, because you're bigger, you should, yeah.
I thought it was to be attacked, but not attacking.
No, when you're
No,
not, it's when you're small.
Yeah,
you get
it's
bonus.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So he doesn't have -1 to attack, but he does have an improved strength. So,
Because you're basically attacking slower. So that's where you get small, you're attacking. That's where the balance.
Yeah.
but he does have flanking,
He does.
and he hasn't moved. So he is. Oh, now I don't know.
Flurry of blows. That's what he do. He would do a flurry of blows.
He would. Yeah, that's true. But there are minuses on that as well.
Yeah, -2, but that's the same as flanking. Would be
So that
so
makes
it's
equal,
just a
so
-1.
so it's just a -1.
Okay.
Okay.
Flurry of headbutts.
So
Yeah.
he goes for a flurry of blows. And they both miss.
You're kidding!
Yes.
Vroom, vroom, but because he's so large now, she sort of sees him and goes, whoop, whoop.
But +2 to strength takes his strength up, which means that his attack bonus goes up with strength.
Yeah.
So that would negate the negative.
It depends what his strength stat is, basically.
Yeah, because
If the 2 to his strength basically pushes his modifier up, it will obviously add another 1 to his attack.
it will. It's 2. So
Oh
it
yeah,
takes
that's
out
true,
1.
yeah.
So it should lose the negative. It should just be on a flat 0.
The second one hits. The second one
Those
hits.
one,
The
all the ones
first
count, we know.
the first
One
one
point can make a
boom,
difference.
misses. The second one,
He's a large creature, so it will change. It does change.
I can tell you now, it is not gonna matter. The second one, he brings his fist. Think Hulk. Boom! And this
He kills himself.
creature,
He fell over.
He fell over.
and this creature goes.
Nice.
We're talking jam on the floor is what happens.
Oh, nice.
Just as the combat music reaches a nice point where I can fade it out as well, so that's absolutely perfect.
And then the
Yes, he turns around and smashes this thing, and it's, and you see a sort of final, like it's the one bit of it that stays intact, like its torso is destroyed, but its arms are sort of like, you know, this bit's squashed, but these bits sort of stay intact, and the face just very faintly flickers into the beautiful things that you saw. What you see is whatever your character finds utterly beautiful.
Himself.
You see yourself. You see whatever your character would find utterly beautiful. You can tell us or not. And Five and Terry see the same things. You see what you saw before. You see what you saw before, and then it sort of falters back into this sort of distorted, and then lies still.
As the combat ends and that round's over, the nanobots leave from Terry and go back into. And I was thinking about it, it's less that Terry grows, it's like the nanobots create a larger version of him.
Like
around.
the mass. Like,
They build around him.
And so he's like in the middle.
It makes like a sort of almost a mech around him. And then travels back into.
Cool.
And Scope is now once again going to step forward. Oh, dead. All of you are dead.
We survived!
Scope takes a step forward and is going to take 20 on the next.
Such a.
On the next. No, he's going to do
Nature.
another nature check.
Go to the nearest station and what was the...
Well done on taking no damage whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because what Scope turns around to you and says,
I wasn't a tumble before the attack and
Really?
shooting ball.
he explains to you that what you just faced is a siren.
In the past 20 minutes has the Admiral come back?
It's not been 20 minutes.
It's been like 2
it's been
rounds.
about-
Oh, I thought you said...
So yeah, you got through less than 2 rounds of combat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 sixes are 42 times that by 2. You've done about a minute and a half. You've done about a minute's worth of fighting.
Yeah.
So you've still got a bit of time on this ship. Obviously, Sam now takes 20 minutes to Scope. Sorry, takes 20 minutes to discover this. Which is probably explains to you. To explain,
so we'd have left.
he explains that this is a siren, and what she was actually trying to do to you, him, and Terry was she was trying to use her siren song, which could have made you 3 turn into her allies.
Fucking hell.
So you did extremely well.
I don't need that.
You did extremely well to get through that.
Considering I'm like, I've got a will save of 2, so I'm like...
He also points out that this is not a siren at full strength. Looking at it, she was already injured down. One of her arms was not quite fully formed. Her wings were not fully formed, so she couldn't have left the ground. And he suspects this is quite a young siren. So you got lucky in the sense that it was not a fully fledged member of this species. But yes, well done, gentlemen. You got through that. And I think, given that has now been 37 minutes of combat, give or take, we shall end that session there. So, well played, gentlemen. The first combat that the group has taken on together. Won successfully, managed to get through without any damage being taken. If you are brand new to the series, please do check out the rest of the plays in the super below. If you're brand new to the channel, check out my other stuff on the page. I wish to send my thanks to Mr. Christophe Shaunig, Mr. Marc Alden Taylor, Jim Kelly, David King Crone Mitchell. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll be back very soon with some more of the Black Sun. Goodbye.